No,
Yeah,
but
They made a whole spin-off game based on that DLC.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I
where
remember
you
X talking
actually
about
use
that.
swords, and I think you get to make your character and all that, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way,
Also,
you sound good now, Max.
Yeah, it's I have to get a new desk is what I need to do. I don't think there's any arrangement of this desk that will work for me, but I have my audio mixer like back under my monitors, and that's also where I hang my headphones. So sometimes I put my headphones up or they like fall and they shift all the fucking knobs and switches on it, and I have to fix them. But there's nowhere else for me to put it, so I just have to live with it.
Yeah, I was looking at seeing how I can modify my desk too because of a shortage of desktop space, but
So if I understood, it's because of where you're hanging your headset.
Yeah, I can like take a picture and show you guys what it looks like. It's
Well, I was just gonna say, do you have a wall next to your desk?
I do.
What
And
about putting up a hook?
I could. The thing is, the wall next to my desk is where I have a sword hanging, and I
Oh.
tried using the hook for that, but the hooks, they're not like stainless steel, so they rust, and then they get nasty rust on my headphones. So I'd have to put in a new hook and arrange that to fit in the layout. And I don't have a ton of wall space as is. It's a whole mess.
this sounds incredibly like I'm getting anxiety just listening to this. This sounds awful.
Oh yeah.
What about those flat sticky things that you put behind certain canvases and pieces of wood that you could stick to the wall and then put the hook on the wood?
Mike, you're funny. All right, you're such a dad sometimes.
Bro, I'm 34. What?
I know, it's just kind of funny. Like, all right, hey, Louie, wait, let's break down really quick. We're going to figure this out for you, Max. I'll make some calls.
Speaking of breaking down, how about you break down last episode?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready. Okay.
Oh, what a transition that was.
And it sounded like a threat, too. That was great.
True. Hey, why don't you get around to breaking down last episode, kid?
That's funny. Okay. All right, so session 4, which according to Mike's notes was over a month ago now. We started, our party of 3 started in what we think now was a throne room / temple sort of situation for this quote-unquote god that the Kuatoa worship, whose name we found out was Umbalup. We spoke with a priest of Umbalup whose name was Laguma. We watched the priest, I don't know if the priest did it or if the gold just kind of did it itself, but some gold came into the room from some kind of conveyor contraption, and it was the same gold that we had paid our ferry when we first arrived on this island. And we watched the gold like float through the air magically and be absorbed into Umbalup's face. And then that was kind of everything that happened. I don't think that we didn't see like Umbalup gain power or anything. He just kind of sat there and let this happen. He's a humanoid figure at this point. That's what we know. And he's wearing, looks like he's got a reptilian head. We find out the truth a little bit later on, which I'll get to. We find out from the archpriest that Umbalup lost something recently, rather had it taken from him. His most prized possession, which was taken by what we were told was a flying lizard, and they asked us if we would retrieve it. This was all happening in conversation between Vrisdan and the archpriest. They were speaking in Undercommon for all this, so Vrisdan had to later translate it for the rest of the party. We agreed to do so, and our friendly Kuatoa ferry driver, Lagoon, took us to the island with the goblin fort on the grounds that the flying lizard was seen. I don't remember if they were seen going in that direction or if we were just going to get more information from the fort and see if we could find out where the flying lizard was. But anyway, landed on the island, gave Lagoon another piece of gold as a thank you, and approached the fort, and there was all kinds of activity going on. Goblins and hobgoblins going every direction. Giant ogre with like a freaking platform on his back. We found out from hobgoblins sitting in the fort that the leader of the fort was called the Bitter. And that hobgoblin gave Goji a weird look, so she flashed the sign against the evil eye, which seemed to weird out the hobgoblin, and then he seemed to try to replicate the sign himself. We got inside, talked to the bitter. Oh, I forgot to mention there were like chunks of Dwergar all over the fort. Or rather, not all over the fort, but there was like a big pile of their bodies and parts and stuff. It was really gross. Got inside, talked to the bitter. The bitter told us, among other things, that the flying lizard was a little bit further past the fort, and that we'd have to go past these glowing underground bison, essentially. On our way, we thanked them for their help, such as it was, and on our way out, the bitter heard Vrisdan mumble something under his breath, and alerted the hobgoblin that was sitting outside, which apparently was the bitter's brother, I think. She told her brother that Vrisdan said something nasty, and the hobgoblin challenged Vrisdan to a fight, one-on-one, a duel. I believe to the first person to be knocked down, essentially, because Vrisdan ended up surviving the fight. The short version of it is Vrisdan absolutely got his ass handed to him in like 3 seconds. And that seemed to satisfy the hobgoblin. After he kicked Vrisdan's ass, he wandered off, and Goji and Futon helped Vrisdan collect himself. We rested for a little bit and got Vrisdan's strength back up. And then marched off in the direction we'd been told the flying lizard was in. It took us to an area of the island where there were these underground bison who seemed to communicate through lights. We skirted around the outside of the group because we didn't want to piss them off, and continued on our way. We eventually came to this little, I don't know what to call it. It was like almost like a natural depression in the ground, but it wasn't really below the level we had been walking on before. It's just that the ground around it rose up and formed kind of a horseshoe shape with this altar in the center of the horseshoe. Goji, being suspicious, climbed the left side of the escarpment, thinking that there might be somebody hiding and watching us remotely, while Vrisdan and Futon waited at what seemed to be the entrance to this kind of horseshoe shape. She very quickly detected, when she got to the top, that sure enough, this flying lizard, which ended up being a, why can't I think of the name? Kobold, was on the opposite side from where she was, and had seen her climbing up almost the same time that she saw it at the top. They spoke for a little while. Goji was trying to see if she could distract the kobold while... Oh, by the way, the kobold's name was Bungla. Distract Bungla while... was it Futon or Vrisdan that tried to sneak up?
It was Futon.
It was Futon. Okay. See if Futon could sneak up and grab the paw, which was... this was the prized possession of the of Oombuloop. The paw was sitting on the altar. Futon tried to grab it, but before he could get it, he was attacked by something called an Oblex spawn, which is a type of ooze. This is all, I'm reading this direct from Mike's notes. Type of ooze that feeds off not only the dead, but their memories as well. So, combat started. As far as we could tell, Bungla wasn't necessarily attacking us. It was also seemed to be attacking the Oblex spawn, but it was hurt so badly by the Oblex spawn that even after we killed the Oblex spawn, Futon decided to put Bungla out of his misery and killed him as well. Went around and gathered what loot we could, grabbed the what ended up being just a rabbit's foot, this paw that was Oombuloop's. And I want to say, while we were still in the horseshoe-shaped escarpment area, Vrisdan found something, right? You found an amulet?
Correct. He found an amulet of cloth.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Lolth. Yeah. Good old Lolth. Okay.
Called Lolth's Grip.
Okay, yeah. Now I'm remembering it.
Straight up gripping. If you
Gripping.
don't know what I mean.
Yes. Okay. All right. The group then headed back to the boat. Got a ride back to the main Kuatoa Island, which I think Mike put its name here. The name of the island. It's in the notes somewhere. I'm not seeing it at the moment, but we went back to Oompa Loomp to turn in the quest. When we got there, Oompa Loomp was the only one in the throne room, so we spoke with him directly. Turns out he's just a regular dude, wizard, who's been underground and has been exalted by the Kuatoa for who knows how long. And as far as we could tell, he just sits in that room all day, and the Kuatoa worship him and magically turn gold into mana that they feed to him. It sounded like he was pretty bored and just happy to have a human conversation. But it dragged on a little long, so we ended up just leaving him in the middle of a sentence that he was saying at the time. He did give us, he did take back the paw, and he gave us the right to anything in their treasury. So on our way out, we spoke to Laguma, the archpriest, to claim our reward. Once we got our portion of treasure, which ended up being not terribly much because most of the treasure room was full of fish-like things, I think. We decided we were going to take a ferry to the next place known to us in Dark Beach, which is something that the Kuatoa called Hidden Merchant Beach. We don't know exactly what to expect when we get there, but we are on our way as of the beginning of this session. Is there anything I missed?
No. The only thing is that you guys finally got level 2.
Oh, that's right. We leveled up. Yeah.
Did
and
we level up? Are you level 2 now?
I'm officially level 2, and I'm going to die on the hill of saying that when it says summary, it should have already saved the level, but I'm not gonna make too big of a point of it.
But I didn't even notice. So emotionally, I don't know if I can connect with you there.
It's just that you have summary at the top, and then you have to scroll down past the window that you can currently see to find that there's actually a save button. So once you see summary, you're just like, oh, well, then it must already be done. And if you don't scroll down all the way, you don't see save. You know what? I could go on and on about this, but I vote...
we got 3 hours. Go ahead if you want.
So I wrote down an argument here that I want to put in front of you guys. I'm kidding. I didn't do that, but I watched the...
I wrote a letter to the fantasy people. I haven't responded yet.
Dear sir or madam, I'm playing this game for free, and I have a few things I think you could do differently.
I paid full price. I've got authority.
Yeah, there you go.
You did pay.
Name drop me.
I did. You're right. I forgot I did. I had to pay a very basic price. I think it was like $15 or $25 last time.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
You're a valued customer then.
That's right. Now they have to cater to me.
Now they have to ignore you.
Yeah. I would probably be more inclined to make a bigger stink if I wasn't thoroughly confused by almost every aspect of this system.
Fair.
So it can't be like, hey, I know exactly what I'm doing. They'll be like, do you really? Be like, no, I don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Now that we're done with the recap, I will be back in just a minute. Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah.
No worries. Okay. So, as Pem stated, you are currently on a different ferry than what you experienced before, being taken to the dock that would lead you, or not lead you, land you at the beach of the hidden marketplace. As you are traveling, the Kuatoa is just pushing away, and you can see islands passing by you, some smaller than others, but at the same time, all you can see is black water, which still, I would say, is very unusual for all of you, considering that water should be blue, at the most green. And above you, you see the same brightly lit ceiling by the moss that provides sufficient light throughout this specific cavern of the Dark Lake. And you progress through the lake until you finally reach the dock that this Kuotoa has been pushing you to. And you disembark, and considering that you managed to convince this Kuotoa to bear you free, claiming that his god ordered him to do so, you don't have to pay him.
Hey. All right, I'm still gonna throw him a piece of gold as a tip, though.
Oh, he does a little jig and is so happy. And
Love
he's
this guy.
bowing up and down. But you don't understand whether or not he's saying thank you or not.
Okay.
As you watch the very happy Kuotoa make his way back to his village, you turn around and you see that you're at a very normal beach side of the lake. Kind of gravelly as you go away from the shore edge. And there's not much to it other than a hole on the wall. You can see that if you wanted to, you could waft, if you wanted to another island to your southwest, but you also see that the island doesn't have much on it. And there's not much else at this location, just a small little dock that allows entrance to what is presumably a tunnel that leads to some hidden market.
Okay. Anyone objecting to checking out the tunnel?
No.
No, I think that's what we're here for.
Assuming the tunnel has ambient light similar to the rest of the areas we've been around Dark Lake?
Yes, the tunnel is well lit. Along the sides, you see that there's still some more moss, a couple of mushrooms that are glowing. As you gaze further down into the tunnel, the lighting becomes less prominent, but there's still enough to be able to see. There's
Okay.
just more shadows.
Okay.
So you all march into the tunnel and you progress on through, and you find that the trek is longer than a few hours, and you march along, nothing occurring. You just go past several passages that seem smaller than the main one that you're going down, and you all assume that if there was any kind of detour, then it would probably be marked if it were to lead to the hidden marketplace. So you continue down the passage that you've been traveling until you finally reach a specific nook of a series of tunnels that branch out and do not seem to diverge away from your destined um not destined your destination. um as you look around, you see that the formation of the tunnel becomes more, shall we say, more dug, and that the coloring of the rocks are more tinted towards the brown color than the normal grays and purples that you've been associated with. And you also see that the location you're in is also lit by actual lantern.
Hmm.
Um, as you look around, you do see that there is a plaque near where you entered, and you see that it is written in Dethic, the dwarven rune language. Now, my question is, for you three, do you want the dwarven inscription as is, and I give you the letters of Dethic, and you try to puzzle it out? Or do you want me to give the straight up translation since all three of you know Dethic?
I don't know. Whatever the group wants to do. I'm terrible at puzzling anything out, so I think for me it probably makes more sense to just have the direct translation provided. But if the group would like to do a little, code deciphering, I'm not opposed.
I'm neutral too, really.
All right, Max, you got to come down hard one way or the other.
I'm so sorry, Pam. I also don't have strong feelings.
Okay, let's see.
Okay,
let's see the
then-
original
Let's
Dethic.
move the coin.
Let's see the original Dethic, and if we are
Mhm.
stumped, we can just ask for the translation.
Okay.
Sure.
So here is the Dethic lettering. I don't know if it comes up right away for you guys when I do that, or if it goes straight to the shared assets. Find it.
It pops up for me.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the letters, and this is what you view on the plaque on the wall.
Okay.
And the only thing in addition to the alphabet that you have, if you see a straight up line at the top of the letter, that means that the letter is capitalized.
Got it. I'm looking at the alphabet. Is it the case that W and X are the exact same? W, X, and Z are all the same rune?
Second.
Or maybe I'm change blind? I don't know.
No, I think
W,
it's the same.
W and X are
Mhm.
the same.
And Z also,
And
right?
Z.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. It's like how Hebrew doesn't have vowels. You just gotta kind of guess at what sound you're supposed to put there. Okay.
Now, if it becomes a pain in the ass, I can give you translation.
No,
I
that's
just
fine. That's
wasn't
fine.
sure if you guys wanted to try.
I am intrigued.
Could do a line each.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I'm already started in on the top one.
I'm already working on the middle.
I'm gonna do the last one then.
God, I'm so bad at this.
Do we all
you-
have a X or W, X, or Z? In our thing? I'm just kidding. 'Cause
I
do
have
one,
yes,
and
I
that
have
was
something.
pretty fun to figure out.
Yes.
Yeah, I have one.
Okay,
At
cool.
least.
I think I know
like
what
that.
mine is though, because the rest of the word doesn't make sense with anything else.
I wish I could zoom in on the Dethic script.
See.
Oh yeah, you can't. Okay, just as a aid for Max, the first word of the second line is word.
Okay.
As
The
an aid
last word
for
of mine is the.
okay.
So I shared the image as a map, so you should be able to zoom in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can, thank you.
And Adam, the last word of my line is of. And I'm still working on the middle.
By the way, if you need me to do another map image for the actual item, just let me know and I'll do that too. So you can zoom in.
I think I'm going to be okay.
I got mine.
I need 2 words and then I'm good. But it's progressing a little bit faster than it was at first. Which I just jinxed myself, didn't I?
Usually how it works.
I like your replication of a script, Mike. It looks cool. Looks very natural.
Like
I think I've got it. I'll wait for Pem, so then it's in order.
Yep, I just got one little tiny word to do here. Oh, and I already know what it is. Okay. Max, you want to read your line first?
Oh, sorry, I put mine in chat. But sure, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that's what I thought we were doing.
Oh.
Ready
Yeah,
to go.
typing it helped me keep track of what I already figured out. But yeah, I can read it. To ye who seek entrance, find the
Word amongst the burrows of.
Old. Use not the wares. I think it says the last one.
Yep, that is correct.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead.
Damn it! I should. I didn't get my line in time. Now they're going to be out of order. Oh, here we go.
So, there you go.
Word amongst the burrows of old. Use not the wares. What the hell is this? Goji's pissed.
Well, wait. Hold on.
Could say yeah, could.
Futon's got one now. I haven't heard.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bagpipes.
I was told there wouldn't be quizzes. Incidentally, if Vrisdan has a sound that he would like on the soundboard, it has to be a 4-second or less.
One yet.
Oh, I figure it'll come about organically. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. If something comes up, then I will.
Oh,
you know.
And speaking of character-specific things, I forgot to mention in the recap. Not only did Vrisdan get Loth's grip, but Futon got bagpipes. No,
The
something.
bagged piper.
The bagged piper. That's right. The item description of which I don't remember, but I just wanted to mention that he also got a cool little trinket.
Okay. So, upon seeing that slate, you can assume. Oh, there you go. You can assume that the plaque is in reference to your destination, considering where it was placed and how the layout of what you can see is set. And I will go ahead and share with you guys the map.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me know if it looks weird.
Whoa,
You
that
should
looks
be able
awesome.
to see by line of sight and illumination.
I don't know why,
Mhm.
but I just forgot that this thing covers line of sight, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so friggin' sweet!" Brisbane
So,
can see
right
for
now-
miles.
Right now, there is no combat. So, if you wish to, you can all move around. You won't be able to go through the walls, and you can seek out your password.
Okay. And just to be clear, the direction that we came from is what, like northeast of us?
Where you were just at.
Okay. And
Let's
but
just pretend that
there's
just
a
pretend
passage
that
back there. We
that-
just don't
yeah,
see it. Okay.
Right.
Got it.
Oh, I did not mean for that to pop me in.
Oh yeah, I can't go through walls. Ah, Goji's just smashing her face on the wall. It's awesome.
I was I was looking at my spells to see if I had anything that would help, and you two ran the fuck off.
I'm staying close by. I'm not that far.
Yeah, you're here. I have no idea.
Sorry, but the party's
We're
split
Futon
already.
land.
Futon's gone.
Did you go south? I think I saw someone
I-
go
Yeah.
south.
I
You're
think-
here. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going north-ish.
Yeah. We'll just, if you need us play the bagpipes, we'll come find you.
True, yeah, we can hear you pretty well in here, I bet.
Yeah, oh, might have nice acoustics in here.
So Mike.
Oh no!
Quick, we gotta find him.
Oh man, I actually want to see if we find them now.
No, probably we'll probably
I'm
stumble
not
across a
sure.
trap or something.
Yeah,
Mike, just a
well, that's a fair point.
point of order, I guess is the best way to put it. Are we looking for something that's going to be revealed on the map, or should we be doing like an awareness check when we step into a new area? Or?
Hold on, wait, stop. Futon, go back to where you were when Pam was speaking, and I'll go ahead and say right now that where Futon is, he sees that there is a burrow-like feature on the floor, or presumably something dug under the ground to lead somewhere.
Oh God. Okay, Goji doesn't know this, so she's not
And
responding.
yes, it will be on the map that you can see a little darker hole. So it's up to now whether or not Futon wants to go into that hole or just continue exploring.
Well, I'm on my own, so I shouldn't risk it.
Okay.
Especially if it's in whatever made it might be it.
You guys continue wandering around then.
Okay. Boy, I hope Futon comes and finds us if he needs us.
Okay, stop. Everybody stop.
Is that a burrow?
So,
It's like a fireplace.
as the exploration continued, Vrisdan and Goji come upon a doorway that is illuminated, and you see that it is surrounded by a greenish haze, and you attempt to force your way through, but you find that you cannot go through this green haze.
Oh, is that what I was just pushing up against?
Yes?
Oh, okay. I thought it looked weird on the map. I was like, hold on, is this a bug in Fantasy Grounds? Okay, no, that's a thing.
Okay.
Well, in that case,
and now
Vrisdan
you-
would not have walked face first into it.
And while you two decide what you want to do, Futon, you see that there is another hole in the room you just entered. I don't know if it's very visible for you, but it is there to the bottom right.
Yeah, I see it now.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I gave you a torch, Futon. If either one of you two want a torch as well, I can give you a token that will light up your area with the torch.
Oh. I was just going to
Okay.
ask, how does that... Because I think I have one in my inventory. I'm just...
If you wanted to, you just tell me that you want to use a torch, and I'll add a torch token.
Yeah, light me up. If we're doing an,
Light you up.
if we're doing an
All right.
exploration, I think I should
Uh,
probably want an extra light source if I can have one.
there you go.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Okay. So
That is pretty dope.
while you two are deciding what you want to do, Futon, are you continuing on your exploration?
I mean, I'm fine with just... sorry, I'll let Futon answer, but I'm just talking to Vrisdan. I'm fine with like continuing to explore and just remembering that this weird-ass door is here.
So the only reason I'm
Sure.
asking is because I'm having a pan out and look at the whole map. So I need to know what you guys are doing.
We fucked everything up for you. You're like, ah, shit. I can't.
So if you want to just keep exploring, you can, Futon, or if you want to go down the hole, let me know.
Here, come back, Goji.
Um,
Vrisdan is gonna pull out a candle. Sorry to speak over Futon if you were about to answer, Adam.
Okay. Let me go ahead and add a candle for you.
No, I'm not going to light it. I'm gonna say to Goji,
Oh.
here, just burn your torch at the candle, and I'll let some wax drip on the ground or like smear it on the wall, so we know this is
Hansel
where
and
the green
Gretel.
weirdness lies.
Oh,
Sure, yeah.
Great
hold
idea.
on. Let me see here.
Thank you.
what I can do.
I was kind of imagining, since we're on a physical map, that we just have it mapped, but I like that idea. That's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I will remember where this was. But
Yeah,
I figured
makes character sense.
we would do it
Well,
just in case. Yeah, exactly.
The
Is there a
thing
way
is
to
that as
mark?
you move around, the walls are gonna obscure your vision.
Yeah, sure, but you do remember.
But you do have
we
the
as
skeleton
remember
of
where
the
we've
space. Yeah.
been. Yeah.
Oh, Futon's pinging.
Yeah, I'm just messing with the options. There's like a way to mark. I don't think there is.
Bagpipe
No, I don't
ping.
think we can like, draw on the map.
Yeah, that'd be
I'm
cool.
doing-
Just have like a breadcrumb feature. You can just. Oh,
Yeah, that'd be pretty neat.
what's that green mark?
We could
I
pretend that that's
assume-
your wax.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did that, Mike?
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know if you can.
How did you do it?
I don't
I
think
can
we
only
can.
ping.
Okay. Let me know when you want to
We could
drop
do
a.
pointers. I could draw.
Let
a
me
square.
know. Let me know when you want to drop a piece of wax, and I'll put it for you.
Sure.
Whoops! I just got rid of your little 5-footer there.
I'm not
I got
gonna-
rid of it. I was
Oh,
trying to delete
okay.
it.
I clicked on an
I was
exact
just-
same
You can
moment.
see that when I do that, though.
Yes.
I see
Yep.
Futon pinging.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
So, like, if I do this circle, do you see that right now?
Where are you?
There we go.
Are you by your
Okay.
mark?
Do
Oh,
you
there
see
you go.
it now?
Now I see it. Yep.
Okay, so you can only see it when I let go and like complete it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Also,
Stop.
Tanom, I don't know if
Stop.
you want to.
Sorry.
Nope.
Vrisdan in the room that entered and just exited.
Yep.
You look,
Mhm.
you see, and take a quick glance around, and you happen to see another plaque in that room. And this is what Vrisdan can see.
Oh,
I
I still
closed
I
the
still have the
script.
alphabet. I still have the no, I
Oh,
don't. I
let's
just have the
go.
message. Oh shit.
Well, we're gonna have to reverse engineer the script from our message.
Do you want? I can pull it back up.
Yeah,
No, I
could
can
you?
find it. It's just like under assets or whatever, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Oh, this is the same script that Dark Lake was written in like a while ago.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yes.
dope.
Futon, were you trying to say something? I'm sorry.
No, I'm just
Okay.
trying not to go down the hole.
Okay.
Futon's trying not to die.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to continue exploring, you can now, Futon. The pause is done.
SL.
Slave
As
pens.
you're going south, you
Slave,
see
okay.
another hole there, Futon.
Okay, I see it.
Slave.
For you, Tanom, now that Goji has lit up a torch, Vrisdan is going to be kind of sticking to the edge of the torchlight and is going to be stealthing. So
Okay.
I don't know if you want a stealth roll or.
Great.
Um,
I'm
there
bait
is
now.
nothing that you feel that is needed for a stealth,
Okay.
but you are
fine.
currently. If anybody is looking at you, they will first see Goji's light.
Sure.
Zoom, sorry.
Goji's always been the kind of person who just light up a room. So I presume this little alcove I'm in is also a slave pen. Okay, back to following Vrisdan here.
Oh, you saw me go here? Damn.
Yeah.
I was trying to be sneaky.
You were in my line of sight. That's how I managed to do it.
Well, I thought I got here before you left the slave pen thing.
You disappeared for a brief second, but I saw which direction you went.
Damn.
Found an interesting like glitch on the map.
Oh, did you?
Oh.
Not on the
Where?
actual map. More of like the software. It sort of reveals like lines.
Oh, that's the grids of the map.
Yeah. No. I mean, I'll send a screenshot. It's not anything big. It's just minor visual.
Ah, my torch went out. Wait, I'm blind. Oh shit! What did I just
Oh,
do?
yeah.
I fell in a hole.
You found
Oh,
a hole.
I didn't toggle that, did I? You found another hole.
I just fell in it. Damn it!
Just dropped face first into hole.
Oh,
We should all be
whew.
so lucky.
You should
Ugh.
be able to move now. Now it's up to you.
Can I
whether
fall
or not
into
you
it
go
again?
Down that hole. Do you want to go in that hole?
I don't think so. Not this time,
Okay.
anyway. Can we mark this with wax?
I mean, hold your torch over here. Vrisdan will look down the hole, see if there's anything worth seeing down there.
Can you see?
I don't know if I have to go actually down the hole to see down there, but
as you look down the hole, you see a. Hold on, sorry. There you go. You look down the hole and you see that it curves in and away from you towards the south. And as you put your torch in, you only see that you would have to crawl in to see anything else. You see that picture.
hey Goji,
Yeah.
Oh, that.
I bet we could scare the
Yeah,
shit out of Futon with this hole.
Futon, what you're looking at is those lines I had to make on the map itself for the walls so that you guys don't go through them.
Okay.
Oh, you found your own weird mist? Or are you by our weird mist? Did you find wax?
No.
Okay. Well, we got hole and we've got door.
It's really the only two things you need in life, huh, Goji?
Yeah, especially if you don't fall in the hole.
Well, some holes are meant to be falled into.
I presume you're hanging back to stay out of my circle of torchlight here.
Yeah. Or do
Oh!
am I
Hey, look
behind
who I
you? In front
found!
of you? Yeah.
Photon! Are you alright? You're conscious? Photon? Talk to me, Photon!
Yeah, I'm alright.
Okay.
I found some holes.
Yeah, we found a hole too. And a door. Weird magic door. Well, we should probably stick together, but I want to see the stuff you've seen. And I don't want to go back and see the stuff I've seen.
We found this odd mist in one of the rooms that
Seems like
navigable.
a barrier
Should we
of some
continue?
kind.
Yeah.
So do you think we should go down one of these holes?
Yeah. Here's one over here.
Is Vrisdan within earshot?
I'm coming up. My
I'm coming.
fantasy ground lagged for a second because I opened up the combat tracker because it looked like oh my god, that made it lag.
With the ping?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, mine like too.
yeah.
That's why
I
I think there's a lot of movement going on, and plus the
That's
Yeah.
what
light
it
and
is.
everything.
And there's a lot of assets going on, so it's lagging it out.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So
though.
I apologize for that, but
That's
I'm
all right.
honestly happy with how this is going so far.
Yeah.
this is pretty fun.
Okay, so you guys have decided to go down this hole.
I think we're going down the hole.
Okay, so
Do either of you have rope? And would we like to put rope down so we can get back out if we need to?
How
or
deep is the hole? Can
would
we
that
tell?
reveal?
the hole is slanted in about a 60-degree, and then levels out as far as you can see towards the east, and it looks like it should be easily traveled.
If Goji's going to climb into it, does she feel comfortable that she can climb back out of it if she wants to turn around?
You could not turn around, but you could go backwards.
Okay, back out of it, and she wouldn't be like, it's too steep, I'm stuck.
No.
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to pocket the torch, I guess, because it doesn't really make sense to crawl with a torch. Is this like a belly crawl or a toddler hands and knees crawl? What kind of crawl are we talking?
You could do either one.
Oh, all right. So your
You
hands...
You just don't have enough room to turn around if you want
Yeah,
to.
we won't be necessarily very good at combat in this hole. Alright, Goji looks at Vrisdan and Futon, and if they take more than like 3 or 4 seconds to climb in the hole, she's going to go first.
Sure.
Okay.
Thanks for the
Goji-
resistance.
Goji goes into the
Only
hole.
lasts a
Now-
minute, so if you're gonna get jumped within 1
I'm
minute.
going to go flying through this tunnel.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's see. Goji, don't move.
Goji has disappeared from our world, Futon.
Can
Goji
you
has
see now,
disappeared
Goji?
from every world.
Achieve.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I had to zoom out and zoom back in to see where I was. Yes, I
So
can see.
here's to explain. Because of the walls I set up, I cannot just move you to the location. I had to remove your token
Yeah.
and then put it back in.
Okay.
So you crawl through the tunnel and hop out into a little cavern that looks like it's got nesting of a creature that was there long, long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And amongst the stray nesting pieces that you see another slab that you saw similar to the previous one that Vrisdan found. And upon it, you see the following. And I'm stupid, and I close my asset. Okay, there we go. You see that one.
Okay.
Looks like it says joint in English was the
Yeah.
first thing I saw.
Smoke him if
I
you
am
got him.
dyslexic for the record.
And I'm gonna go ahead and assume you're not gonna want to stay in there, so I'm gonna go ahead and move you back.
Yeah,
to the
move me
other-
back out. No, I found my new home. Leave me. Gil. Yeah. Gi. No, not G. Yeah, G. God damn it. Gil. Where's the other letter? D. Gild? No.
Mhm.
Guild?
Guild.
Guild, but not guild as in group of laborers.
Nope. Guild
Guild,
is a
like-
word.
Guild as in like
Covered in
gilded.
gold.
Yeah. Okay. I'm back back in the room. Back out of the room.
Okay.
There was another hole.
Well, assuming that you let your friends, your companions know that
Yes.
you found the word
Let my
guild,
companions know.
Futon will lead you to the next hole. So you guys
I
can
love
move
when
now.
I've led the whole.
God. Especially with Lolth's grip around.
True. Who up gripping they hole?
God.
In the bottom right corner of the room, you see another hole. And when you look into this one, you do notice that it's not actually traversable. You peer into the hole and see that it is actually collapsed.
Collapsed in such a way that it would be laborious to clear it, or collapsed like, oh, like 10 minutes of scrabbling, we could open this thing up.
You could attempt to open up the hole, but from how the top layer of the hole is very brittle and easy to come down as you try to judge whether or not
Oh.
you can, you can determine that it would probably cave in
Even more.
not too long afterwards.
Okay. Then Goji's voting we just move on to the next hole.
Okay.
Sure.
I think I found another one. I don't remember now.
You found two
Futon's our
others.
hole scout.
No, this one here as well.
Okay. You find the next hole, and within you see a similar occurrence that with the one that Goji went into. It is a clear hole. There is a 50-degree kind of angle. You can easily travel down this tunnel if you wish.
Goji took the
It
last one,
goes
so she's
towards
gonna
the
hang
east.
back.
Futon, you
Bless you.
seem far more flexible than I am.
Yeah. I'll
Would you
do it
like
one
to go in
sec.
the hole?
Be back in a sec though.
Okay, well he's
Futon's got the sneezes.
literally he's gonna be gone and go.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I have gone ahead and moved you to the next one,
Yeah, thanks.
and you see a room similar to the one that I described to Goji. It is bigger than the last one, but the corner of the creature that was nesting here is much smaller, so you can assume that it was a smaller creature, but there is no sign of recent life. As you poke around in the cavern, you see that there is another slate, and upon it you see the following.
I'm definitely glad that we went with the original text rather than just getting us a translation, because it is kind of fun to work it out.
And while you're working that out, I will go ahead and assume that you're moving back to the other room with your friend and move you.
I've lost it. Okay, I found it now.
Oh. Oh, Mike. I didn't realize this till just now, but we can, when you bring up your little snippets of Dethic here, the top of the little window that pops up shows us the file name. So we're actually seeing the translation in the file name.
Oh.
No, I kind of figured that might happen, but
Yeah.
at the same time,
I didn't notice it till just now, and I was like, oh, okay.
I was hoping that you wouldn't notice, but I have to be able to find this stuff
Yeah,
and all
makes
the
sense.
assets, so I just went ahead and...
That's fine. I won't look from now on. I'll know not to look.
I was halfway through it.
Okay, for the next one, don't look.
Don't look.
So, as far as you guys have gone so far, through your exploration, you have all found 4 holes. There is a 5th one, which is the last one that Adam found. I don't know if he remembers where it is, though.
I've lost the map now.
Oh, hold on.
I memorized it, but I don't know how to get back. Oh, never mind. Found it.
Okay.
No, I don't remember. I've got no torch.
Oh, hold on. Stop moving so I can... There you go. And then...
Can't give me a torch. Okay, I'm clowning around.
So that's one thing I'm not certain if I can keep from going out.
That's okay. Honestly, I don't.
You're not actually spending that much time looking around.
Yeah.
And because of you guys twisting around like that, it's lagging out again.
Is it?
Oh, sorry.
Come on, Vrisdan, keep it together.
Okay. If you guys want, I can tell you where the last hole is, or you can look around.
I'm fine with looking around.
What's the thing that's in this kidney area?
If it gets tedious, then we can always just ask for help.
Oh, there's another little hole in this wall. I guess that's where,
I noticed that one.
Little hole. Just imagine that's like, one of those small cave holes we can't actually do anything with.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we came in. This this area here.
That is the area, correct?
Okay. Whoops, I'm sorry. I'm pinging like crazy now.
Didn't you find a hole up here somewhere?
We did. It was over here.
Yeah,
oh, that's the door.
That's where you entered.
Oh, that's the hole.
Oh, yeah. It was like,
I'm at the hole right now. There's
You
still
are?
the green line is on the map.
Oh, then I'm lagging so bad.
Oh, yeah.
I see.
You just
there you go.
teleported
There you go.
Probably because the pinging.
I think the pinging was what did it, yeah.
See, the wax helped.
It did. Yep. Okay, but just to be clear, this isn't the one that Futon found.
No.
There's still one other one.
No.
All right.
It's not.
Goji gives a pointed look at Vrisdan like it's obviously your time to climb in this hole.
This is not what I signed up for.
You're a drow. Come on, you live underground.
Yeah, I'm used to big caves, not small.
Oh, I see. I mean, if you really want to beg out of it, I'll do it for 5 gold.
Vrisdan takes a minute to very seriously consider that.
I'm serious. I'll do it.
I'll do you 3 gold.
3 gold. Yeah, let's go with 3 gold. Let me just throw that on the old inventory here, so I don't forget.
While you two do that, I'll go ahead and move Vrisdan then.
Goji.
No, I'm not doing it.
Too late.
That's gold. Give me my money back then, fucker.
I'm trying to imagine the logistics. You fell in the hole just like Goji did, like right before I was about to climb in. You're like, okay, here's your 3 gold. Whoa, shit! And then you fell.
Vrisdan definitely slipped and definitely thinks Goji shoved him in.
I apologize.
Bastard.
I am not giving that 3 gold back. This is going to be the end of the party right here.
I misunderstood. I apologize.
We're going to have a big fight about
That's
this.
fine.
That was good.
My mistake. You crawl through and you see that this cavern is not so occupied as what your companions described previously. It's actually very barren. But in the corner, towards furthest away from the light, you see that there is another slate. And due to the fact that you can see just with that brief amount of light, allowing your dark vision to read off the Dethic lettering, and this is what you see.
It's a long one.
And while you figure that out, I'll move you back so that you can accuse or not as you choose.
So, I'm assuming Goji's just kind of thinking out loud, talking to Futon. I'm assuming that each one of these words could be a password that will let us through that cool door.
Mm-hmm. I think, it says not where, so, saying a weapon would be where, where.
Yeah. I was assuming we would actually find, like, items, and if we used them, that it would set off a trap or something.
Yeah.
But that's not what
It seems, and you'd gild an item, so like, that's aware as well.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna post what I got with the caveat that as soon as Vrisdan says this word, he's like, I'm pretty sure I got this wrong.
Lineormation?
Yeah. Unless there's that third letter is something that I... Oh. It doesn't become a ton better.
Is it possible that the capital L is actually a lowercase l, which is to say a capital I?
No, there's a strong line on top, a gap, and then the underscore. The like line, the upside down T, basically. It could be a U.
I see.
with
Yeah,
a
I
gap,
see what you're saying.
but I don't think
Yeah.
it is.
See, no.
No, yeah, that's an I.
I think
I do think the third.
I-
I think
I-
that E is actually an F.
No,
I
if you
think
look at
that's-
it, it's an I.
I think that's more of a GM fucked up.
I was gonna say. I think the
Okay.
dwarf or whoever thousands of years ago who carved this out, it had one too many meads.
I wrote too many Dethic letters this morning, so it didn't come out.
That's fine.
Oh, I was looking at it wrong. Yeah, that is an L. That's the I next to it. It looks like an I, but that's the L because it's not capital.
So I apologize again. I messed up.
Oh, dude, I would have fucked this up so much worse if I was trying to do this. You guys would have had no clue what the hell I was saying.
I will go ahead and say that in this map, you have found the 4 clues that you would require to progress.
So, slave, guild, weapon, and information are the words that I can remember finding.
Yeah, I've still got them all.
Use not the wares. I assume that we just...
Can I get the words that we have found so far one more time, please?
Slave, weapon, guild, information, and there's a hole that we haven't been in yet. Oh, and there's the caved in tunnel, but hopefully it's not that word because we would be prohibited from progressing.
I mean, I don't think it'd be weapon or slave because they're wares you sell.
Well, I guess what I'm curious about, what Goji's curious about, what happens if we use the wrong word?
Yeah.
Does
Well,
the
then you
door
can try one.
fry us? Wasn't the door up this way? I thought. Oh yeah. There's your little wax mark. Interesting. I think when I went in that burrow and you brought me back out to this map, I think my fog of war thing reset because there are areas I've explored that I can't see anymore, and there are areas that I haven't explored or that I hadn't explored until after the burrow that I can see.
Well,
I mean that's just an interesting note.
That comes with the fact that we're messing around with it with how we shouldn't.
I'm not. I'm just noting out loud.
I'm re-exploring it at insane speeds.
Here's that crazy door.
Oh, there's Vrisdan.
So, did we find the last burrow? Should we go find it, or should we just try these 4 words and hope that we don't get electrocuted?
I feel like the last one is probably going to be the word, because all the rest of these things could be wares, except for maybe information.
I will go ahead and say you have all the clues.
Oh, all right.
Oh, well, there we go.
Well, not knowing if we have all the clues or not, I say we just say these words to the door and see what happens.
In sequential order. Let's go.
I think...
You got this, Goji.
Okay.
Vrisdan slips out of the room.
Okay. She's going to stand really close to the door, and she's going to say, in a loud, clear voice, information.
As you say it, the green haze does not waver.
Shit. But I didn't get electrocuted.
No.
Okay. All right. In a clear, calm voice, she's going to say, guild.
The green haze of the door begins to shimmer and fades away.
Hey, I think I got it.
And the passageway is clear.
Password was guild, everyone.
I suppose it's
well done, Goji. I knew you
an
could do it.
action rather than something you can sell.
Wait, when Goji just said guild again, when she was telling them that the password was guild, did the fog come back?
Didn't he say it back in the other tunnel?
Sorry?
Wasn't that said in the other tunnel?
No, I'm standing right here in front of the door, and I said guild, and then the fog disappeared, and I called out, "Hey, the password was guild." And I'm just curious, when I said it in that sentence, did it turn the fog back on?
No, the
Okay,
fog is not back on.
Phew. So it's not a toggle.
It's not a toggle by action.
Okay, got it.
That's
All
not
right.
to say it's not by time.
Goji is ready to walk through this door.
Must be another word to activate it.
I'm sorry, say that again?
There must be another word to turn it back on.
Yeah, or you need the actual like engineer who put it together to come and flip it on or something.
Yeah.
So, while you guys presumably go through the passage and continue on your journey, I'll go ahead and close this one and share with you the actual map.
All right.
That way you can see it.
That was a really cool way to handle all of that, Mike. I dug it. That's neat.
Kind of annoyed that I messed up on.
Oh no, it's dude. There's a lot of moving parts in something like this. I get it.
So this one is how it looked empty, the way that you guys experienced it.
Holy shit! It was that big?
Yes, it
Wow,
was.
It didn't feel that big.
That's why I was like, you guys need to stop so I can see what you're doing. Normally though, this is the original map that they have.
What I'm learning from all this is that being a god would be incredibly hard. Like, imagine if you had to keep track of all these different people wandering around this map. Oh, cool. So how is it that you got the stripped down version?
The Japeku group, they make multiple versions of a map. So they'll have
handy.
like an underground, a ritual, snowy, all these different versions that they all drew up.
Very cool. And
this
really
one just
lends
happened
to
be
the
empty.
atmosphere, because going through that same map, if we had seen like all this stuff and you were like, oh, by the way, this isn't here, just pretend it's not, it would have not had the same kind of vibe to it.
Yep. Okay, so having gotten through the passage door that was hindering you, you progress down the tunnel, and as I search up what I'm looking for so that you guys can see, progress down the tunnel, and you hear voices up where you are traveling to, and you hear that the voices are rising in volume and seem to be not in a clamor of violence or ill will, more as in some kind of a marketplace. And as you approach the greenish light that you can see ahead that leads to a bigger cavern, this is what you will be seeing. I would ask that you go ahead and ignore the ship at the bottom of the screen, but this is the map that we will be using for the marketplace.
Cool. And we're coming in from the north? I'm sorry.
You would be coming in from the southeast.
Southeast. Okay.
And like I said, ignore that ship. This is the closest that I can find that I liked. As you come into the cavern, you are stopped by a very large and imposing golem with a humanoid that's garbed in armor with no revealing features next to it. And as you look around it, you can see that the top of the cavern has a reflective feature of crystals that illuminates the rest of the cavern in this greenish light and allows for easy view of your surrounding. You also see that the different stalls that you can see along the walls and around what you can see of the golem are made of mushrooms, and you also see passages leading off to other directions in this cavern. And you also see that the cavern floor itself is made of different pads of stonework, which gaps these streams of water that have been pooled onto the floor due to its relative location to the Dark Lake. Um, so as you progress into the cavern and are stopped by the golem, the guard next to it nonchalantly comments to you that you have to follow these certain rules while you're here, and these are ironclad. The the fact that you are here is a privilege, which means that you managed to provide the password that's required to enter this location, and you are expected to follow the rules, which is very simple. You have 3 covenants in this place. There will be no theft, there will be no disguise of goods, and there will be no magic or psionics used during trade. Upon breaking any of these, there will be the summary execution of your fate, which is death.
Oh shit.
There will also be, amongst the traders, their own personal guards, which will uphold these rules. In addition, that unspoken rule of there will be no combat.
Okay.
The
I wonder
golem.
how hard we're going to be tested to break that rule.
That's totally up to you. The golem, in the meantime, while this guard was giving you these rules, has not moved. But while it was doing so, just standing there, you could see that there is some kind of light emitting from it. And if I can get some kind of roll, insight or perception, whichever is higher, or you want to use to determine what it is doing.
Oops.
Or if you wanted to use the what's that skill? Arcana, you can use that as well.
Is that everyone or just Goji?
Everybody.
Anybody that
Uh,
wants, anyone
yeah,
that wants
I
to
lost.
do
I
so.
lost my sheet, but found it now. What was the third? Is insight and kind and
Insight,
Insight,
perception.
perception, or arcana.
perception. Okay. My strongest. Not that mattered.
Vrisdan can vaguely assume that the golem is performing some kind of magical registration. He assumed that the golem and potentially any other golems would recognize you 3 if needed.
So you're
But
saying
with a
if one golem recognizes us, they will all recognize us, yeah?
That's what Vrisdan assumes, yes.
I see.
And assuming you guys have no questions for this guard, the guard then motions to the golem to step aside and welcomes you to the marketplace of Mantle Dareth, the hidden village, the hidden marketplace.
Cool.
Let me go ahead and type that out for you. So, like I said, you can see ahead of you the marketplace that you've been venturing towards. It is well lit, so you have no worries of using a torch or anything like that. The stalls are made of mushrooms. You see that there are a variety of humanoids here, not just drow or or kobolds. There are also Snivellfine, uh, the deep gnomes. You can also see that there are also other creatures, such as even one mechanoid, and you can also see goblins and orcs.
This market
You
is woke.
also you also see that the marketplace itself is you also see that the marketplace, while large, is not that occupied. The capacity of this cavern hold more than you can see, and the activities of trade is not as active as you would expect. As you look around, you do notice that there are no Durgar here.
No Durgar. Okay.
So let's see. And I don't see your characters, so I'll go ahead and drop you guys in case you want to like roam around or something.
Yeah.
And like I said, you guys entered from the general southeast direction. And from your position, you can also see that there are three major centers, shall we call them, being used for the trade, presumably faction based. There is a fourth one, but it remains empty. You see one directly ahead of you being led by a half-orc, a male half-orc. Let me go ahead and drop a little. You see this area here, general areas being led by a half-orc, and towards the south you see a tunnel, presumably leading to quarters that the group that this half-orc is leading where they reside. And you also see that there are guards that this half-orc presumably has hired to maintain order in his section. Towards the north of where you entered, you see another major hub, and this seems to be led by a very dejected looking Neverblin, which is a deep gnome. And you see that his party itself, while his area is large, you don't see that much trade going on there. There's not that many merchants, and very little can be said about the guards. Further north, you can hear that there is another center of trade, but you don't see what is leading that group. And towards the west, you hear no kind of trade. So up here in the north is where another little hub of trade happens, and towards the west you hear nothing. But should you choose to, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't unlock it. You can move your token. My mistake. If you roam towards the western part, you see that it is empty. There is no occupants, no traffic, no merchant in that section towards the west.
Goji, you're so small.
I'm just a tiny little thing.
He's
I
just
guess
a
you
tiny
are.
boy.
Say that again.
I've seen bigger.
Oh.
I guess Goji would be most drawn to the orc with the bodyguards.
Okay. You approach and you can see that the trade that happens here tends to be more or leaning towards material goods. You can see weaponry, you can see armor, and some other kinds of miscellaneous goods that would aid an adventurer in their travels through the Underdark. You can also see that the buyers, while they go away with the goods they sought, are not too pleased with the deals that they got. And that the male half-orc, who seems to be the head of this group, has a very crafty look in his eye. One that shows that while he is a half-orc, he knows his business.
I see. Okay. Goji's going to approach, greet him professionally, and ask if she can see what he's got.
Ah, greetings, young lady. It's good to see you here. My name be Laurel Crawl, and it is great to see you here. I have not seen you before. I welcome you and present to you all this fine weaponry. Please take your time and use as much as you want.
Thanks. I'm not looking so much for weaponry. I'm pretty set on my club here, but I'm curious if you have anything in the way of gloves or gauntlets, something with a little bit of padding that can take the sting out of, a strike that doesn't land quite square.
Yes, I believe I have something in your size. How does this hide work glove that I have here look to you? I can guarantee you it will last you a good long while, especially if some lurker in the dark happens to jump on you.
Can I try it on?
Sure.
Okay, Goji's going to try the gloves on. Do they fit?
They fit very well. In fact, they seem to have been made for you.
Oh, all right. How much for the gloves?
I cannot part with them any less than 20 gold.
Yeah. 20. Are you open to bartering or no?
Bartering. What would you have to offer, dear lady?
Oh, no. I don't mean bartering in the sense of I give you something else. I meant bartering in the sense of how about I just pay you less than 20 gold? Say
Haggling.
15. Haggling. I'm sorry. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. Haggling.
15. That's hard sell, my dear. I can't do that low. I could give you 19.
You know what? I'll leave the gloves with you, and I'll think about it. Maybe I'll come back.
Of course, you're more than welcome to come back. And if any of your friends would like to have anything, they are welcome to as well.
You guys, anybody interested in dealing with this guy?
No.
All right, thanks for your help. We'll go shop around, and perhaps I'll come back.
Please be sure to do so. And if you do come back, I do have a special offer for you, considering that club of yours.
No, the club's not for sale.
Oh, no, you misunderstand me. I did not mean to buy it. In fact, I want to help you with it.
And what kind of help is it that you're interested in providing?
Well, and he looks away and looks to see if all of his other potential buyers are currently occupied with his other merchant companion. And he produces this bottle from his store that's hidden. Do you see this here? This could potentially make that club of yours so much better.
What does it do?
Sorry. Well, sorry, you interrupted.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
that threw me a bit. This bottle contains a very special ink. This ink, if used by its creator, a very special Durgar smith, capable of enhancing your weapon of choice. Now, I can give this to you for a price, and I will also give you his current location for free. should you want this. I see that the club for you is very dear. And I see that it is a special club. Very unusual. With, it seems to me, like a special quality of lightning.
Yeah.
As scorched as it is.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Good eye.
Which is unusual down here. I have not seen its like in years. So I last was on the surface. But please, go ahead and roam around. See if there's anything else of interest.
Well, let me. Can I? What's your price for the vial that you have there?
Vial? I'm gonna have to say for you 25 gold. And remember, this
Goji
is,
coughs.
this will help your weapon to be much greater than it is. And it could also lead to this Durgar.
Can I? I'm gonna ask the orc merchant. Can my friend the drow here take a look at that ink?
Wait, you're more than welcome to take a look.
I'm just since Vrisdan does deal with ink, I'm wondering if he can deduce anything from its appearance.
He holds out the bottle towards Vrisdan, not in a handing kind, just in a way so that he can peer at it if he chooses. And
Vrisdan extends his hand expectantly.
Oh god, we're gonna start another duel.
I don't know about a duel. The merchant has this grin on his face and expects nothing but for you to look at it.
I have bad eyes. I must see it closer.
Jesus Christ. This asshole.
Okay. Sure, of course, dear customer. And he hands it to you while looking at his very big, burly, bugbear guard that's behind your group that happened to be capable enough to approach from behind without notice.
Ooh.
Sure.
And you take it in your hands. Please go ahead and give me an
Sorry, if you said what kind of check, it cut out.
Arcana, please.
Oh, sure thing. Oh, it didn't add my thing. Unless I used the wrong one. No, I did. I did the right one. Whatever.
Yeah.
15.
With a 15, you can tell that this ink does indeed have magical qualities. You are not able to determine what they are.
I'll let Goji know that the guy doesn't lie.
Okay. Assuming that Vrisdan's handing the ink back to the orc,
I drink it. What are you guys going to do? They can't make me undrink it.
Mike,
No,
can
yes,
you
I give
remind
it
me
back.
this merchant's name? I know you gave it, but I can't remember it.
It is Laurel Brawl, and I'll go ahead and type it out.
Okay. Well, Laurel, my friend here says there's something legit about this ink. So you know what?
Of course, everything that I have here is legitimate.
I
would never deign to sell faulty goods here.
I've got more gold than I need right now. I'm inclined to try to talk you down, but I think I'll just pay the 25 and take this off your hands.
Of course, I'm so grateful that you would do so. You can have this ink with my blessing. And I will tell you that this ink was made by the master Durgar smith named 1 minute. Because now I gotta
Yeah, no, that's gonna.
I'll be honest. I have so many Google spreadsheets.
I bet. Just trying to deal with all the names alone. Whoa. I'm viewing it in token mode right now, and I just realized I can put the camera in between all three of our tokens, and it looks like I'm surrounded by the party. It's kind of cool.
Well, that's okay. Let's do this. I can tell you, dear customer, that the ink that you now hold in was made by the famous Dwargar smith by the name of Bumrul Wrathhunter. This famed smith is very well known throughout the northern Underdark to craft these magical weapons, all imbued with different effects through his very special and unique use of that he inscribes and engraves upon his weapon. At this time, I don't know if you have uh, explored the western part of this market. There are no Durgar here due to the current, shall we say, disagreement that they have with our friendly neighbors, the drow. And it just so happens that our dear friend Breath Hunter is not currently at the Durgar city. You can find him once you exit this marketplace by going to the tunnels to the north, and you will have to go some distance. And since you were so compliant on my very generous price, I will say that you will find his current abode easily enough, but that he has trust issues. Yes, let's say trust issues. He was not very well treated by the king of the Durgar, and I don't know all of his situation, but that was enough, it seems, to warrant hiring a special set of guardianship. Yes, guardianship is good. It won't be anything taxing for your group from what I can see. Just, I would expect enough friendly reception to run. But, like I said, he won't do you any true harm. You just need to take this ink, and he will be willing to use that on that club of yours.
So if I give him your name, is he going to charge me to do the work that I'm going to be asking him to do, or is he going to be doing it for free as a favor to you?
He gave this ink specifically to get more notoriety outside of Graxtoro. So I have this little partnership with him. Of course, that was included in the price I charged you.
I see.
So you will not have to pay him further.
Okay. And these guardians that you're talking about that he's got, if my friends and I here kick these guardians' asses and leave them broken on the floor, he's not going to hold that against us?
I don't know about broken. They are, of course, his guards that he spends money on. I'm sure he won't begrudge defending yourselves or taking some comeuppance upon you due to any treatment upon you.
All right. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. It was a pleasure doing business with you.
Of course, if any of you would like any other items that you happen to see here, you're more than welcome to speak to me or to any of my fellow merchants here. I hope you have a pleasant rest of the day here in Mental Earth.
All right. That's the merchant that Goji wanted to check out. Anybody want to go talk to any of the other ones?
Vrisdan cannot think of anything he would like to buy.
No.
Well, Goji at least wants to stroll past the stalls and see if there's anything interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Will you go the eastern side or the western?
Yeah, the
side?
eastern side, because it sounds like we're being told specifically there's nothing really of interest on the western side at the moment.
Okay. You continue marching past all these mushroom stalls, seeing the marketplace being very low in activity, especially in the passing of this deep gnome section where you see the dejected leader of the group. And you all see that he sells very limited stuff. There's only food stuff. You can also see that he has very minor liquor. He doesn't have any actual adventuring items. It seems like this group of merchants have come to a low capacity and that they have a very low standing in the marketplace. And assuming that you pass on as you are about to reach the northern part of the marketplace, you see that out of the eastern part, past one of the stalls, you see a group of drow marching out, and they look to you, and the foremost among them seems to somehow recognize you, and you see that they very quickly become angered at your presence and are about to march towards you.
Oh, shit.
And I would think that this is a good spot to take a break.
It's a great spot to take a break. Also, the music that I'm listening to just crescendoed very effectively when that happened.
Nice.
That was great. Whew. Okay, do we want to take say 10, 12, 15 minutes, or does nobody need that much time? What are we thinking?
Yeah, 15 would be good for me.
15. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll be back
Okay.
in 15.
Okay. Okay. We all good to go?
Good.
Yep.
Alrighty. As I stated last time, you have a group of drow that came from the east side of the cavern past some mushroom stalls after you just got past the main quarter of the deep gnomes, and they have spotted you, and the head of this group immediately recognizes you all somehow, and it is a male drow dressed in black leathers of a scouting kind of variety, and very aggressively steps towards you and begins to just shout at you. You slave scum! What are you doing here? How dare you show your faces?
Goji's gonna get that club ready. Even though we could die if we start a fight, she's not gonna wait for somebody to try to take her back to being a slave.
How
Just
did you manage to get here? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, just a quick point. I was looking at the party sheet and I noticed it looks like Futon's at 15 of 17 hit points, but I know.
Yes, they did not choose to heal fully.
Oh, I thought we rested since then, though. But I guess not.
I
We
will
rested after the
say,
fort. We didn't rest after the lizard fight.
I will say that geographically wise, Mental Dareth is about a day away from Dark Lake. So I
Okay.
will say that you are all
Rested
fully
on the
healed.
boat. Okay.
So go ahead and fully heal if you have not full health. Anyway, uh How did you manage to get to this place?
Just to be clear, do we recognize any of these guys? These aren't anybody we
Uh,
met in the arena or in the tunnel fights, are they?
You do not recognize any of these people, but they seem to recognize you.
Shit. And how far away from us is the nearest golem?
You can see that there is a golem currently more moving to your direction from the east side of the cavern. And without looking around, you do not determine where there are any, if any.
Okay. Goji. So they just asked us, how did we get here?
Yes.
Well, Goji's going to look expectantly at Vrisdan.
Let's just fucking kill him.
You dare to insinuate of even coming close to killing me? Slave, you know not your place.
Oh, is he close enough to hear me say that?
Yes, he can
Oh,
hear you.
that was a mumble.
Oh
That was
no.
to Goji.
You're mumbling to a drow. They have very keen hearing.
Sure.
Again, Vrisdan's mumbling get us into a deep shit. You gotta work on that interior voice, Vrisdan.
That is his interior.
Man. Okay. Well, when Vrisdan said, let's just fucking kill him, Goji's eyes dilate, and she assumes that if they can hear that, then we are gonna have to fucking kill him, and she's in full-on combat stance.
Okay. As you take your combat stance and you see that the golem behind the drow party is in a prepared state of you also notice that from your left towards the west side, another drow comes up, and you see that they are not as violently inclined. They saunter up actually in a very casual
Appreciate a
manner.
good saunter.
A good old saunter.
Mhm.
And he says, friends, please. There's no need for all this. And as he begins to speak, you turn toward him, and so does the very aggressive drow. And you see that it is a drow, a very handsome drow, bald-headed, cut with his broad, plumed hat upon his head, fitted out in black leather, golden trim. And you then realize that you recognize this drow as the drow who led the group that somehow managed to not only save you from the drow that was pursuing you in the tunnels after your escape, but collapsed the tunnels behind them as well.
Oh, that guy was helping us? Here I thought he was just being a dick and collapsing tunnels on us. Okay, alright. Boy, I'm bad at this.
Let's all just calm down. What is the issue that you have with my friends, my dear Fey Branch? Don't involve yourself with this matter, you brown ray filth. These are our slaves. Hey, I see no slaves here. Are you slaves, my friends?
No!
I thought not. I mean, I've known these people all my life. There's no way that they can be slaves.
Damn, this dude is bluffing way harder than I anticipated. Yes, we've known each other all our lives, says Goji.
Of course. They've often been in our company. How can they be your slaves? They are clearly ours. You have even been to the arena and saw the occurrence. But how can they be alive if they were at the arena? It clearly collapsed after the escape of Deep Worm. Of the Purple Worm. Well, I was just questioning these slaves, and I'm about to find out.
Goji's getting antsy. The longer this talk goes on, the more itchy she gets.
Well, after he says that, he looks to you. So then, slave, how have you come here?
She's hearing
And
like.
before,
Sorry, go ahead.
before you, am I speaking it too close to each other that you can't tell?
No.
Oh, okay.
For my part, I'm able to tell who's speaking at any given point. I just stepped
Okay.
over you. That's all. I'm sorry.
Okay. Before you have the chance to respond to his question, the drow, damn it. The drow interjects. There's no reason to even bother asking. They are not the ones you seek, of course. How can they be? And as the drow that has been addressing your assailant uh, tries to continue to cool down the situation, you see that there are more golems around you, but do not seem to be approaching any further, seeing as there has been no increase in potential violence.
Hmm.
Um,
Are the aggressive drow distracted enough that we could just kind of waltz out of here?
well, the drow behind the one that has been most vocal have been watching you, but also been very aware of the golem and have but not been as keen to enforce whatever their leader has been wanting to do.
I see. Okay.
And I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm just
And
responding.
the one that has approached you has also had other companions that came up behind them that you did not notice at first. Ones that are similarly garbed as him, but
Flashy.
not as flashy,
This
yes.
guy's got flash.
And you do know that upon looking at him that there is a certain insignia that they are all wearing of a manner of obsidian, and on it is a spider, and over it there is a purple hat.
Spider wearing a purple hat.
A spider wearing a
I
purple hat.
love this gang. This is great. This is fantastic. Okay, and this
Now,
is the flashy guy. This is his group that's coming up with the purple hat
yes,
spider. Okay,
yes,
spider pimps. Okay, here we go.
spider pimp. Um. Okay, now I need to remember where I left
I'm
off.
sorry, I totally distracted you.
No, it's fine. Uh, Now come, Fey Branch. You already know that they're one Z1. There's no way that can be true. I recognize that one. I personally punched him to get him out here. And he's saying that while pointing to Vrisdan. And
It's always Vrisdan that's causing the problems. There's always some shit. I guess I can't say that for sure because it was Goji that punched that one dude in the back of the head to start the prison riot. But every
well,
time since then, it's
I think
always
I
Vrisdan's
think it
face.
I think it can be safe to assume that these were not involved in the prison riot.
These drow.
Um,
Yeah. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, presumably he was talking about whenever you all were first captured.
Right. I understand. Yeah.
Anyway, as for the other two, they were just along in the same party as this one. And we are here to take back our property. Well, I'm afraid that that's not possible because here is a marketplace of goods, and these three people here are not goods. They are the dear friends of my friend. So I will have to ask you to leave them alone. The brigand, I'm sorry, the brigand Darth have no say in this matter, and neither does your accomplices of the House of Bonre. You are correct. Yes, they have no hold here. Neither does the House of Fabranche. And as he says that, the air just stills, and the tension, while not mounting, remains in that heightened state, while the leader of the Bay Branch group begins to settle down and consider what options he had.
Hmm.
He takes one more look at your group and then glances back towards his adversary, shall we say,
Mm-hmm.
and bits down on the floor. Enough. I have better matters than to deal with runaway slaves. And beckons towards his group and marches off towards the north. And as he proceeds, the group looks back towards you, making note of you. And as they march north, they begin to go to the left as well. And you see them go past the general market area of presumably the drow.
Okay.
And as they march away, you see that your rescuer just waves them off, showily grinning, and then looks towards you expectantly. Good to see you again, my friends. I'm so glad to see that you made it here.
Goji looks at Futon and Vrisdan and hopes that Vrisdan, as a drow, will be have an easier time conversing with this person, but she's not afraid to say something if nobody else will.
As you three determine what you want to say or anything at all, the golems you see begin to march away and turn to their default positions of watch.
Okay.
And you also see that companions of this drow relax and start to move away, but not too far away from their leader.
So, and just to be clear, the aggressive drow, or that party is completely out of sight now, right?
Yes, they marched away north and west away from.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just thinking that, like, generally from a character perspective, Goji's not going to be the most winning conversationalist. I think if
You can also choose to say
I think
nothing.
you're quite charming, Goji.
yeah. Well, I don't know how well it comes off in general conversation with people who aren't my direct friends, but
It's all about confidence.
confidence. Yeah, she's got confidence in spades.
She's got confidence when she's got a club.
Yeah. Okay, the first thing I want to do is Goji's gonna ask this guy's name because we haven't gotten his name yet, right? But we have seen
No.
him before.
You've seen him before.
But he hasn't
of
said
course,
two words to
I
us.
apologize, madam. Of course, you may have my name. I'm just wrought that I've never given it to you. Please, be more than welcome to call me Jarley. And we type that out.
Jarlake, I
Now-
really appreciate it if you could write that down for me.
Yeah,
Perhaps in a text window of some kind.
yeah. It'll just pop up magically.
Mm-hmm.
I had to find it so I can spell it correctly.
I am loving these names, by the way.
Well, I will go ahead
Gromlord
and
Wrath
say
Hunter
that
is
this,
like a top 10 name.
I will say that Jarley is actually a actual character, so
Oh,
not one made up.
this is from like a D&D story or something else?
Yes,
Oh,
so it's not
it's a
one
bit
I
like
made
meeting
up,
Deacon.
so- Now come, you had a harrowing experience. Why not follow me and we can go ahead and sit down. Have yourself some refreshment. It's
That-
been a long journey, has it not?
It has been a long journey.
Then please, my friends, follow me. And he turns around and heads back towards the western part of the marketplace, more towards the center. And you see that there actually is a little hollowed out mushroom area within which you can find a tavern that was set up.
Sweet. Frickin'
More
tavern.
like a more like a mutual meeting ground for all factions should they choose to use it.
Okay.
And he leads to a specific little table within the Mushroom Tavern and sits down and beckons towards the waiter that works within this mushroom and beckons for some refreshments to be brought. Welcome to have your own option. He orders a very unique Kant wine to have his own refreshment. Meanwhile, his own companions do not take seats, but they are interspersed within the tavern, just relaxing, but at the same time full.
Okay. And like roughly what time of day is this? Are we like happy hour crowd? Is this a late evening or is this lunch?
As I said earlier, the marketplace itself does not seem as busy as it should be, and it is likewise represented in this tavern. There are not that many patrons. In fact, there's only a very dour looking deep gnome in the corner, as well as a couple of kobolds just deep in their drink of beer
Oh,
and
drunken kobolds. Yay.
muttering to themselves, not really saying much but saying a lot at the same.
Okay.
As far as anybody else, it's just you three and the group of the brigand Darth.
So this is a relatively quiet time to be in here. Not too raucous.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, Goji's gonna order just a flat water. She doesn't trust this guy enough to drink any alcohol in front of him yet.
And as you make your order, he nods his head and gives a knowing smile and just expectantly just sits and waits while you all refresh yourselves as you choose to.
What are Futon and Vrisdan drinking?
If you go flat water, have fizzy water.
Sparkling, please. For the table.
I mean, if you really want sparkling, you're getting sparkling. And you know what sparkling is? It is water infused with purple tint. You don't know what mushroom it came from, but it is sparkling.
Vrisdan, what you drinking?
A classic drow vodka.
Ooh.
Neat.
What do the drow make vodka out of?
Dead rats.
No! Futon, look away!
I hear a fight coming on.
Oh, man.
Like giant evil rats, you know?
Yeah, okay.
Not the nice one.
Yeah, the skeever sized ones.
I don't think
yeah.
giant rats are evil, but I think giant rats are probably also sweeties, huh?
Yeah, probably.
Hmm.
It's only when we
Yeah.
crawl into their burrows and start clubbing them that they get pissed.
So, with the last order of vodka that hails its origins from rodents of unusual size, the drow in front of you, Jale, is pleased that you are all willing to at least drink with him, and just smiles at you and says, "I'm glad you all made it through safely. It was a harrowing journey, was it not? I was not entirely sure you'd make it, but at the same time, I knew you had to."
Goji is just gonna look this guy. She's giving him the evil eye. She doesn't trust this guy at all. She's not gonna say anything. She's just watching him to see what he does next.
He's just sipping away at his wine pleasantly and very confident in his own being.
Is he
and
still wearing
situation.
his hat, or did he take it off?
Oh, he is
when
never taking it off.
Oh, I see. And just to be clear, this is a purple wide brim hat with a feather?
Yes.
Wow. I can't get enough of this guy. This is great.
And considering the fact that you are already in the Underdark under a roof that never lifts, I don't think there is a need to have to worry about taking your hat off indoors.
Okay. The image I have in my head of this drow is I'm really enjoying myself right now. This is great.
Now come, I'm sure you all have questions.
Yeah. Jarlail?
Yes, my lady, what is it that you wish to know?
I just want to make sure I get the name pronunciation correct.
Charlie, yes.
Yep. So what do you know about that aggressive drow that was calling us slaves? He said that he had hit us over the head or hit Vrisdan over the head.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I do know that he's one of the lowly grunts of the house that used to host your residence.
And is he's probably gonna try to track us down later, right? Like as soon as you're not within viewing distance of us, we can expect him to try to capture us, jump us, something.
Oh, of a certainty. I mean, it should be plain. No, you did manage to embarrass the House of Firebranch. Can't just get away with that.
Yeah. Sounds like there's some intricate drow politics going on here, yeah?
Of course, that's essentially what the drow live and breathe.
I didn't think that Goji had a crush on him, but now I'm like, oh yeah, she definitely has a crush on this guy. Because that totally fits with her just sitting there and staring at this guy and not saying anything. Okay. All right. So I'm having out of character thoughts, and I'm trying to think of how I would put them into in character questions.
Honestly, I kind of figured. That's why I'm just waiting.
Yeah. Okay. Out of character conversation with Max and Adam. So this is the guy that collapsed the tunnels after the fight in the one stream cavern. He stopped us from being recaptured or having to fight off the people who were trying to recapture us for the drow arena. Is that what you guys are getting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's from a rival branch of the drow political operation that is either neutral towards or opposed to the Fey branch that is running the arena that we were captured for. Does that also jive with what you guys are understanding?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So we don't think that this guy necessarily has anything to do with oh shit, I already forgot her name. The lady that hired us on the surface.
I got my note.
You know who I'm talking about, though.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I shouldn't have closed down the synopsis, the recaps.
Alaric.
There you go. Thank you. Speaking of, we don't know what happened to Alaric, right? Like, we went to the arena, and that's the last time we saw her was in the slave pens.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Goji's gonna ask Jarlail. Do you know anyone named Alaric?
Alaric. No, there is no Alaric. The people of Menzobaran.
Okay. She was.
Would this be some person that you know amongst the slaves that were captured along with you?
She was in a party with us when we were captured and made slaves of the arena, yes. We don't know what happened to her after that.
Well, I can elucidate you on that, at least. I can tell you that another group of slaves managed to escape the House of Fey Branch.
Do you know where they ended up?
Unfortunately, I do. Your group is the only one I managed to help. They managed to escape at a time not too different. So I was not able to get enough of my members to help them.
How was it that you managed to help us when you caved in those passages at the Darkstream fight?
Oh, that'd be a secret not worth telling, my dear. And he just looks at you.
Okay, the crush is fully on now. All right, Goji's gonna take a drink of flat water, and then she's gonna flag the waiter over, and she's gonna order a grog.
And as your grog is being brought, any other questions? No, you don't have to be silent as well. You're more than welcome to join in as you wish.
Why did you protect us from the slavers?
All I can tell you on that is they need you. And that's something worth going again.
Do you know anything about the deep worm?
You could say that it did not escape by itself.
Oh. I just found myself wishing I had a Beastie Boys sabotage thing on the soundboard because that would have been perfect for that.
I can tell you that my company, as good as it is, not hired to do faulty work.
In the arena, there was a lady up on the balcony, for lack of a better term. That's
yes, of course.
You know who she was?
Yes, that is, in fact, your very gracious hostess, Tisref Fabranche, leader of the House of Fabranche.
And you could write that name down for me too.
Sure. Let me get my holographic pen.
Tisraf. Okay, good. And she's doing the arena thing for funsies, or there's some other reason behind what she's capturing slaves and making them fight to the death?
And he looks at you three, and considering that this is a question that you ask, determines to say, I will go ahead and make this a little bit easier. Any action worth taking by a drow has a hidden intent.
Goji looks at Vrisdan like, is that true?
Vrisdan gives a curt nod.
Okay.
This guy gets it.
Now, as for what specific wants that the House of Fabranche has, I cannot tell you, for I know not. Even our very acclaimed spies are not capable of delving that deeply.
Is there something that we can help you with?
I'm glad you asked. What I need from you.
This is so goddamn hard.
What I need from you right now is to survive. Grow, get stronger. And then one day, when you're ready, the favor will be asked.
And the favor would be...
And he smiles and looks at you. You will know, and you will pay.
Pay? Wait, hang on a second. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm just thinking about where we want to go with this conversation next. So, and this is all out of character, but we're gathering from this conversation that he collapsed the tunnels to keep Tisraf's drow from recapturing us. Does that sound what everybody else is thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're not suspecting that we'd probably be expected to owe them something.
Yeah, and there's clearly a inter-house fight among the drow.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, okay. The only other thing I think I want to ask about is the It's the drow versus the Durgar, right?
Is this asking?
And, I'm just trying to remember from what we learned from the bidder at the fort.
Yes, you are currently aware that there seems to be a war between the Durgar and the Drow.
And the drow. And the goblins at the fort were on the side of the drow.
Correct. They were mercenaries hired by the Drow.
Okay. And the Kuatoa, as far as we know, are impartial, right? They're not affiliated with either side?
As impartial as any lunatic society.
Okay. All right. Well, then the last thing that Goji wants to ask about then is the fight between the drow and the Durgar. Is that just Fabranch, or is that all of the drow? Are you, Jarlail, and your house currently engaged in combat with the Durgar?
I'm sorry. I should have explained that. I'm not really part of a house right now.
Oh.
The Brigand Jarks is a mercenary corps. And yes, we have part in the current rivalry between the Durgar and our fair city of Mizabarn.
Okay. So even if Fabranch was out of the way, you and your faction would still be engaged in a fight against the Durgar.
We are currently paid to take covert actions against them, yes.
I see. And if myself and my companions here found ourselves in a conversation with the Durgar because we ran into them somewhere, would your side take that as collaboration, and would we be enemies from that point on?
Of course not. You are my friend. I would view it as your attempts to grow and get stronger.
I see. Okay, last question I have for you, and then I'll let...
That is not to say that I have no Durgar friends, for I have friends everywhere.
I see. Last question I have for you, and then I'll let Vrisdan and Futon ask if they have any questions. But, oh shit, what was the last question I had? Damn it. Hang on.
Was it about the Durgar and the Drow?
It was, so you answered me that we would not be... if we should ever need to speak to you again, how will we find you?
You won't be able to find me, but we will come to you when we need to.
Goji seems satisfied with that answer and downs the last of her grog.
And Jarlail looks to both Futon and Vrisdan to see if they have any questions further.
Well, I can't think of anything.
No questions.
Good. Then allow me to have my own question. What are your current plans?
I mean, the only active thing we have going on at the moment is this cool ink bottle that I bought. Probably got ripped off for, but we have to take it to... The reason I asked about whether or not a conversation between us and a Durgar would make us enemies is because we need to go see a Durgar smith named Bromrul Wrathhunter.
Ah, old Wrathhunter. He's a good old fellow.
Oh, you know
Kinda
him?
grumpy.
Good.
Yes, I indeed do. Good old fellow, but rather grumpy.
Grumpy. Do you have any reason to think he wouldn't help us?
No, I mean, I clearly have reports of you purchasing his own ink bottle. I see no reason that he would not assist you.
Okay.
And in fact, that's a good way should you choose to seek a means to go west.
You think west is the direction we should be going?
I know not. What are your plans?
Well, there's the Bromrul Wrathhunter guy. The rest of my feeling about it, this is Goji speaking for herself, is if we can unravel this mystery about the arena drow and if we can locate and save or otherwise aid the other slaves that were captured along with Alaric, that's obviously a much lower priority than just getting the hell out of here. But I don't think we have anything else to draw our attention right now except this Duergar Smith.
Okay. So out of character,
Yeah.
what I'm getting is your main priority is find Wrath Hunter, followed by a possible means of escape from the Underdark.
Well, I'll say what I'm thinking, and then Adam and Max, you can concur or disagree. But I'm thinking the long-term goal is we got to get the hell out of here.
Sure.
The near-term goals are revenge against... sorry, not near. Mid-term goals are revenge against the lady who's... Oh, Tisraf, the arena lady. Maybe not even revenge, more like justice. You know, that would include like releasing the other slaves, trying to get them back to the surface. If we get a chance to kick Tisraf's ass and kill her, great. If not, rescue and protect the other slaves. And then in the near term, it's talk to Bramrul Wrath Hunter, and also if we get a chance to stop by that fort again, kick the shit out of that one dude that kicked the shit out of Vrisdan. But I think in the so if we're talking like mid and long term, if I haven't already muddied the waters, I'm sorry, my thoughts are kind of not cogent here, but the mid and long term goals are probably going to be met best by heading west, as Jarlail recommends, and finding either more drow or the Duergar city.
Okay.
What does everybody else think? I just don't want to be like the group spokesperson. I'm just trying to say out loud what I'm thinking, and then everybody else can agree or disagree.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good plan.
What do you two say? All right. As you describe your current concerns and hopes and
dreams, long-term goals,
dreams,
retirement plans.
Jarlau takes his left hand, puts it to his cheek in thought, while his right hand is laid on the table with his index finger tapping away as he thinks, and states that hold on, let me get back into it. He states, as for your hopes of justice, I believe at this time you should put them to the side. Any journey towards Menzobarn for you, I believe, will lead to certain death. And I cannot promise you that my company will be able to aid you should you choose to take such a path. As for any of your old friends, as I said, some of them managed to escape. I don't know when you'll find them, if you will at all, within these buried tunnels of the Underdark. But again, Menzobarn is a very dangerous place. More dangerous than what is normal within the Underdark.
Jeez, really? Because that's saying a lot.
I'm afraid so. Let's just say that the purple worm would have been the most pleasant that could have been there, if at all.
Okay. Noted.
As for your grudge, this goblin that you spoke of, or whatever it was, I'm always for a good grudge, but I would not go out of my way if there's no reason back south. Of course, I don't know what opportunities you may have down there. If your true goal is to leave our pleasant home of the Underdark, west is your path. However, you will find it barred. Currently, due to the war, Graxtol is closed to any that are not Durgar or friends of the Durgar. And you will need a means to become such friend, to be able to pass through and get the correct path of least resistance
Okay.
that will lead you back towards the surface. Otherwise, you will need to take a much longer and more difficult route, either by going north or back down the Dark Lake and back around it towards the south, and hope to reach one of the other surface axes. At this time, I would not recommend it, as with all the concentration of forces between the Dorgar and Drow are concentrated here, the other routes are not as managed. And who knows what other dark creatures may lurk there.
There might be more walking mushrooms.
Oh God.
That is a hazard that I'll have to encounter eventually.
Hey, this is a quick aside, but do you know what those walking mushrooms are called? They're not just myconids, are they? The ones with the beetles and the glowy lights.
1 second.
He's got to consult his bestiary.
He whips out his holographic bestiary and looks up what he thought he needs to look up. I'm honestly trying to remember which mushroom it was, because there's multiple.
So there was a room very, very early. There was a small room with glowing mushrooms in it, and there were two beetles, like, seemed to be paying the mushroom homage. And then as we crossed through the room, the beetles started walking towards us, and then so did the mushroom. The mushroom itself started.
No, I remember that.
Oh.
What I'm not remembering is which mushroom it was.
Oh, okay, I see.
Okay. It was. There we go. Okay. Back in character.
Yeah.
Could you describe me this mushroom?
It had beetle entourage.
Mm-hmm.
They were named George and Ringo. The Beatles were.
And tell me, was this one of the mobile versions of a mushroom?
Yeah, it started walking at a very slow pace, and as far as we know, it might still be coming towards us.
Was
in
it
like
colored?
an It Follows way.
Was it colored purple?
Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
Then yes, it was a violet fungus. Not inherently a very dangerous creature when you look at scope of what there is down here.
Okay. And those beetles just have like a symbiotic relationship with it?
Normally they do, yes.
Okay.
Why did you not approach the beetles?
No, we stayed away. It was like within 6 hours of us having fallen down the purple worm hole, and we were not interested in challenging anything to a fight at the time.
And he raises an eyebrow. Did you not see that the beetles were glowing?
No, we saw that. What was that?
And he looks towards the human, and he further tilts his head. I suppose you surfacers would not know, but the giant fire beetles are a common source of light that we harvest.
Okay, hang on. I just want to know when you said. So I'm. I don't know why this happened, but I'm looking at one monitor on my screen, and when you said he turns and looks at the human, I instantly turned and looked right at Futon's token. Like, what the fuck, Futon? You were supposed to know this?
Well, I'm sorry, out of character. It's
Yeah.
kind of like he's looking at the human who has no dark vision. Willingly walked away from a
a
group
source of light
that
I
have
see.
a source of light.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I think we were all still, at least speaking for myself, I was still in like, oh my god, everything down here is going to kill us, stay the fuck away. Which I think I'm still generally that way, but That's funny. It's just funny that you said the character turned and looked at Futon, and I instantly just like zoomed in on Futon's face.
Okay.
Me man, unga bunga fire.
You didn't oonga boonga very much. Okay. Okay. Now now to get back to where I was
Yes,
describing
I'm
the
sorry.
paths.
We're terrible at this. Go ahead.
No, I'm just trying to remember where I left off. So it was right. Okay. So your options, if you wish to reach the surface, are limited. You will need some means to get into Grextol, or if you're feeling bold and stronger than I deem you to be, you may continue down the paths to the north or south of Dark Lake. Hope to reach those entrances to the surface. Now,
Okay. I'm
I
sorry. Go
will
ahead.
say.
Yep.
Now, I will say, the fact that you have been laid on the path leading to Wrathham Hunter is rather fortuitous. As I mentioned, he's a grumpy fellow, and currently he's rather grumpy at the current king of the Durgar, for he was a very avid follower of the old king, and due to that, he was cast out rather cruelly by this new lord. Perhaps he can be your means to enter the city.
Okay. I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Another suggestion, should you choose to take it. I do happen to know that to the east of here, there is a, not exactly a grove, but a ring of druids that resides down here, worshipping the local wildlife. Perhaps they can assist you as well.
Okay. This is out of character, but we know which the orc merchant whose name was Laurel Crawl. I had to look at his name. He mentioned which direction Brambrul Wrath Hunter is in, but I've totally forgotten.
To the north.
To the north. And the Druid Grove to the east. And some really dangerous shit to the south, and the Durgar to the west. Right?
Correct.
Okay.
If you want, I can pull. I believe it's in your shared assets, that map image of that was different
Of
from the
the
one that's
Dark
in the
Lake.
background.
Yeah.
Yes. I generally have my map set up to be like that.
Okay. Yes, I found it in the shared assets. I feel like I can't zoom into it though, unless I'm doing something wrong.
Give me 1 second, and I will make it an actual map as soon as I find it in my assets. While I'm looking for it, continue to think if you want to ask something.
I think Goji's exhausted all questions she has, unless this guy wants to tag along and maybe they can get to know each other better, but I'm guessing not.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
perfect. Thank you.
Let's see here.
Oh, Mantle Darret. Oh my god, it's there on the map.
Yes,
well
it
done.
is. It is a real place. It's actually, it's a hidden location. Technically, only certain merchants and guild members know of its location or even its password. But I figured that the way we did it would be more fun.
Mm-hmm. That was very cool.
And because of the current situation, is why you don't have as much of a market as it normally is.
Yeah.
But Mantle Dareth, per the lore, is about a day away from actual Dark Lake. So there you go.
Yep.
And towards the southwest of there, you can see Graxtol.
And that is the Durgar city, correct?
Correct, yes. Okay. And this is all out of character since you guys don't have a map.
Yes.
Sloop the Doop is the main Kuatoa village that follow the worshippers of not Umbalu, but what was her? They're the bad Kuatoa.
Okay, we haven't encountered them yet.
Not yet, no. Menzabaran is to
Yep.
your northeast,
Yep.
and to the west of that is Blingdenstone.
Fucking worm nurseries. That's what's to the west of it. That's all I've been looking at the whole time. That's a
Like I
fucking
s-
horrifying combination of words.
Like I said, if you chose to, you can reach surface going by a northern route. It's up to you if you choose to go that way.
Okay.
Blingdenstone is the old city the main old city of the Deep Gnome. I say old because in the current timeline that we're using, it has been taken over by a whole different group, which would explain the current situation of the Deep Gnomes in the market.
Here in the market. Yeah, looking like refugees.
Like I said, you would find the blacksmith, the forge location of the Durgar that you're seeking somewhere north of Mantoldare.
Okay.
Also, if you look in our actual game, it won't be that big, but towards the southeast of Dark Lake,
Mm-hmm.
if you see that big green area called Zigdamagos,
Yeah.
that's a giant ass mushroom thing that is like a hive mushroom, and it's all hollowed out and occupied by creatures and myconoids and all that stuff.
Yep. I'm into it. Not saying we need
But
to
yeah.
go there, but if we do get to go there, I'm going to be really excited.
And like I said, as Charlek said, if you want the most secure and your safest, if there is such a word for the Underdark route to the surface, you would need to go through Graxtol,
Mm-hmm.
which is currently closed off to anything that's not Durgar or Durgar friend due to
Got
the
it.
war.
Okay. I think that's what makes the most sense, both because Goji has a very selfish reason to want to meet Bramrul Wrathhunter, but also it sounds like unless we plan on leveling up a few times, we're probably going to get our asses kicked trying anything else. So yeah, my vote is we pay for our tab here unless our good friend Jarlail is going to pick it up for us, and then figure out how we get headed in direction toward Bramrul Wrathhunter.
Okay. Seeing that your resolve has been glinting in your eyes, Garle nods and gives another of his customary grins and goes ahead and lays down the sufficient payment for all of your drinks.
Wow, what a guy.
And he says, "It seems to me that you have decided on what you will do."
Yep. Feeling like we've decided what we're going to do.
Good. Then I will say it has been a very pleasant discussion, and that I hope that you will continue to strengthen yourselves. For not only does your own survival require it, but we need you as well.
Goji puts her hand on his shoulder and says, "Very pleasant discussion," and then takes her off of his shoulder.
And he gives a slight bow and gives you another grin. And then he says to his companions, "Come, my friends, for our journey today is not to conclusion." And he turns and leaves out the western exit. And his group of the Brigand Dargarth there have followed with him. And all you're left with is the very dour deep gnome in the corner and two nonsensical kobolds.
I mean, if she was here by herself, Goji would go party with those kobolds, but we have places to be and things to do, so...
So, I'm assuming that you will all leave the little mushroom tavern and go northward towards the
assuming...
north part of the cavern.
I was going to say, assuming getting out of the market it's just as simple as going north out of the market and we'll be going in the right direction, yeah.
Okay. Unless anybody wants to take a gander at any other stuff, you all march towards the north side of the little market area, and you see that it is indeed a drow center of commerce, and you see that it is headed by a female drow who appears to not be as certain in her place as the half-orc that you interact with. Her wares are not as proficient in use. Their quality is of a lower caste, and you can see why Laurel refused to budge on his prices, for he knew that he had the best items in this marketplace.
Son of a bitch.
But you do see that she has a more varied option than Laurel or the Deep Gnome had. There are weaponry, there are more varied options of armor, there are actual parchments, quills, foodstuffs of a better quality than the Deep Gnome, but none of them is of spectacular quality.
Goji's she's gonna look and see if anything catches her eye. She's specifically looking at gloves, boots, helmets, that sort of thing, accessory types.
Yeah, you see all of those things.
Anything that if there's anything that might speak to her.
If anything that might speak to her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like honestly, just like a dice roll is fine. Like if it's a.
Yeah, give me a dice roll of whatever skill you want.
Okie doke. Let's say perception.
Okay. With the 12, you look and you do not see anything of a different quality than the others. You do see that there are chain mail. You don't see any plate mail. You see some normal leather armor.
I think she's gonna walk by
the varieties that you were looking
Sorry,
for,
go ahead.
Yes. But there are gloves, helmets, band braces. There's everything that you could want, just nothing spectacular.
Okay. Seeing nothing spectacular, she's going to be fine with walking by.
Okay. As you are walking by, you're also keeping an eye out, I assume, for your aggressor, but you do not see him or his party within the market square, and you can assume that they're not here anymore.
Okay.
And
just to clarify for my own recollection, they didn't detect us until after we had closed our conversation with Laurel, right?
Correct.
So there would be no reason that once we're no longer in the market, they would know to go talk to Laurel and find out where it is we might be going next. Like, it's safe to assume, unless they're watching us right now, they won't know how to follow us, right?
Give me an insight roll.
Oh, okay. Sure. That's a pretty good roll.
You assume that, considering that they were here marching around, keeping an eye on the marketplace, that they could potentially know where you can.
I see. They probably have sources here that they trust and can talk with. Got it. Okay. Okay.
Okay. After taking a look at what wares there are and seeing the Myconoid off to the corner and the other inhabitants, or not inhabitants, the other patrons of the marketplace, you see that you can, in fact, leave through a northern tunnel, should you choose to. But there are other tunnels as well throughout the cavern, all of them guarded by a similar pair of a golem and its handler.
Okay. I'm gonna vote we just leave via the north tunnel unless somebody wants to do something else. But I would also propose that I know that we've got an hour left. Do we want to take another short break before we settle in for the last 55 minutes or so of campaign?
Sure. Before we do,
Yep.
I due to how we were going, I forgot to do it, but with this event, shall we say, as well as your successful entrance to Mental Dareth as well, let's say you all earn 250 XP
Oh yeah.
A piece or in total?
total.
Oh, so
No. I'm sorry. You each have 250.
I'm like, you're gonna make me do math. 250.
Oh, it was 250. You are gonna make me do math.
How the hell did I forget where you put XP? God damn it. Skills? No. Abilities? No.
Go to your main tab,
Yep.
and then where it
The
says
little
Fighter
magnifying
2.
Oh, you
next
gotta
to-
click on the thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna click on the thing.
Okay.
The thingy to thing.
160 to 660, 710 is what I'm getting here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I believe max would probably be about 720, 725.
Oh yeah, because he got that extra XP for getting his ass kicked.
True.
All right, I'm gonna step away, and you guys want to come back in 5?
Yeah.
All right, be back in 5. You might be familiar with this, since I think at least some of us watch British television every now and then. Of course, in the UK they say maths rather than math, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With the grounds that mathematics itself is plural, therefore any abbreviation for it should be plural too. But doesn't... I'm not trying to start a war here or anything. But doesn't the word mathematics come from the Latin term mathematica? Is that plural in Latin?
I know not.
I don't know either.
My assumption would be that's the singular.
I don't... Yeah.
To me, it's just because, there's multiple types of maths.
Oh, yeah, sure. There's arithmetic and algebra and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just saying, like, if we're going to start a fight over who's technically correct, if the Latin root is singular, then math makes sense. If the Latin root is plural, then maths makes sense. I just don't know enough about Latin to know. I'm assuming that is Latin. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's Greek. I don't know.
It is.
I
It is
mean,
originally Greek, as all Latin is, but yes, it is. It is a Latin word.
I personally would just go under the assumption that all English is fucked up in the first place.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
English is the most beautiful language because of how utterly deranged it is. Yeah,
Okay,
no
so
one could make a language this fucked up except for the Saxons.
yeah, the Saxons who moved to England, who were then invaded by the Scandinavians, who were then invaded by the French. Yeah.
Mhm.
Who then invaded the entire world and took a whole bunch of words from all of their languages. Okay, what I'm getting from a very quick Google search, and we don't have to spend any more time on this. This is silly, but where is it coming from? Etymology. Comes from the ancient Greek mathema, meaning that which is learnt. In other words, study or science. Came to have a more narrow and technical meaning of mathematical study. Its adjective mathematikos means related to learning or studious, which is where mathematical comes from. So it's essentially the mathematical art. So it sounds like it's neither singular nor plural. It's just the word just ends in an S.
Hmm.
Plural in English goes back to the Latin plural mathematica, based on the Greek plural ta mathematica. Okay, so the Latin mathematica is plural. So I think the British are closer to correct then. I think we all owe King George III a very sound and forthright apology.
So the U.S. says normal.
The U.S. is incorrect, is the impression I'm getting there. It should be maths with an S on the end.
The U.S. has to be all special.
It's like the difference between saying like I'm studying science and I'm studying the sciences. Like I don't know that it really makes too much of a difference linguistically, but
Cold day in hell before I speak the Queen's English. Okay? Adam, you'll have to come over here and kill me.
He'll
Well, the
throw his
Queen's
rats
dead,
at you, man.
so
No, sure. Is it the King's English now? Did y'all change it?
they did. They did. Going out,
Yeah.
gonna go out speaking the King's.
Wow. So she dies, and immediately y'all are like, all right, scrub her name. We don't
Yep.
want her anymore.
Change the money.
They didn't want her for years.
No
What do you
love, no
want?
loyalty.
You know, the only real like pleasure you can get out of it is that Charles is going to be dead in a few years anyway, and then they'll have to do it. They'll have to spend millions of pounds to change all this shit all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta spend the money somewhere.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm sorry. That's our silly tangential discretion. Not discretion. What's the word? Digression of the day. There we go.
I mean, it wouldn't be a PEM thing if there was no king.
That's true. We don't get off on
That's
enough
true.
tangents here. Got a
All
quota
right.
I gotta hit.
I'll start coming with fun facts.
Sure, just random shit.
Yeah, just every 30 minutes I'll throw something out. You know, we don't have to take every single tangent. I'll just introduce the option, and
And then
whichever one you
if the
like.
vibes go that way, then that's where we go. Yeah,
Which in itself
Exactly.
is a tangent. So
that's true. We're already on a tangent about tangents. That's not happened. That's happened plenty of times before too, where the tangent comes about tangents.
Mhm.
So while we're at it, let's go ahead and take another left turn and get back onto the game.
Yes, thank you.
So you all have decided to go towards Wrath Hunter. And
Yeah.
you exit through the northern tunnel. You pass by the golem. It does make no motion, but you do see a similar light that occurred when you first entered. Other than that, there's no reaction, and the guard that stands with the golem makes no action to stop you or hinder you. So you exit the tunnel and proceed on through. And you spend hours traversing. There has been no major detours. There's no major crossroads. No paths that are seemingly better going. There's no clear direction. All you know is that you need to go north. And considering neither Laral nor Jarlech deigned to give you specific directions, it can't be that hard to reach your destination.
Just for like painting a picture in the mind. Are we generally staying on the same level, or are we gradually going upwards, or gradually going downwards?
Let me look at them.
Because I always forget that. Well, I don't always forget, but sometimes I forget that we're actually like. There's levels to the Underdark, and you're sometimes not. You can say I'm going north, but you can also like drop 6,000 meters over a mile or whatever, you know.
Well, if you look at the map, and let me give you.
I just mixed my imperial and metric measurements, and that made my brain itch. I'm sorry. Dropping
It's about
6,000 meters over a mile would be insane.
That's about as American as you
Yep.
can get. Okay, I shared you the undermap,
Yep.
and if you zoom in, and
love
you
this
can
map. It's
see how Menzabaran, Mental Dareth, and Graxtol are all red,
Yep.
and those
On the key
show
are all
you on the key that they're all in certain locations. Now,
Yep.
the Mensa Barn is in the upper stratum of the Underdark,
Okay.
while Mantle Dareth and Graxeldoch are in the middle.
Yep.
And you're currently in the middle stratum as you exit Mantle Dareth. And you're not trying to get into a lower or an upper
Mm-hmm.
location. So you're still on the same level. You see dips of the path sloping downwards, but you eventually get onto the path that leads back upwards. You're never really changing high elevation
Sure.
as
So
you travel.
maybe gradually going up a little bit, but nothing noticeable unless we were really paying close attention, let's say. Does that sound
Correct.
fair? Okay.
Yes. Okay. So you travel, you continue to go north. As the hours go by, you make note that the light levels have been kind of dimming, but not extremely so. The fungus is more interspersed. The tunnels become more larger stretches of darkness. Nothing too difficult for your human companion to see in. And the musty feeling of the air that you experienced while near the dark lake has receded and not as noticeable anymore. But you have not traveled far enough away to get away from it.
Okay.
Eventually, you reach this point in your travel where the path is curving suddenly towards the east, and as you reach that corner, you begin to hear voices, and they seem to be irritated voices,
Hmm.
shall we say.
Stealth
Do
mode.
you- Do you wish to go into stealth mode?
Yeah, I'm gonna. I think
Yeah.
we're all gonna just kind of crouch and creep until we can
Okay.
either detect some light ahead or see the figures that are talking.
I will go ahead and say that an 18 is for your group.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
That's very generous because my roll would not have been an 18.
So, as you all approach the corner and hear these voices in an irate manner, you all look at each other and determine, let's find out what's going on first. So, you purposely um, latch down whatever metal items that you have on your person and any kind of loose items that give off noise if jangled a little too much, and begin to sneakily bend around the corner and approach the noises that you hear. And as you proceed forward, you see that the moss is not as brilliantly glowing. It's much dimmer than before, not to the point where you can't see. And as you proceed, you see that the path is still an progressing one, that it will not suddenly stop, but you do see a little side tunnel, one from which the voices are coming from, and you approach it and progress down that tunnel instead to see what is happening. And you see that the entrance to the tunnel, to the cave where the voice is coming from, is in fact kind of hidden, where there are stalagmites at the entrance that prevent any easy access of view either in or out of the cave. And you take positions behind these stalagmites to view what's going on inside. And before I start saying what you hear,
Mhm.
what you see inside is a gathering of drow. In fact, drow that you are familiar with. Those that accosted you at Mental Derek.
Oh.
And
Oh,
opposite
man.
of them is a more impressive gathering.
Oh, rats. I thought we
You
were just going to kick
see-
their asses, but okay.
you see in front of them in the cavern itself, you see that it is more stalagmites. There are other passage entrances around the room. And opposite of the drow, you see a gathering of feline people in armor, very resplendent. And let me go ahead and see what they have for this NPC as an image. Yeah, that works. Did something come up for you guys?
Yes, it did. Rakshasa.
You see a group of creatures you do not know the name of. If you wanted to do an insight or perception or history check, you can. But you
I'm rolling
naturally
insight. What
do
the
not-
hell?
Fucking 19. You see and recognize from histories of lore passed down through your tribal storytellings around the fire, a group of creatures that resemble the fabled fiends of the abyss named Rakshasas. Feline creatures of great strength and great martial prowess and magical might.
Jesus. Okay.
And you see 4 of these standing off against the group of drow, with one further ahead, presumably the spokesperson. But the more intimidating creature that you see is the one behind the Rakshasa.
Oh God. Okay.
You see a hooded figure. A hooded figure that instills fear upon all in the room and on yourselves. And this figure is on top of a similarly shrouded horse. You cannot determine any features on this creature, nor can you see what kind of humanoid this figure is. All you know is that anytime your eye happens to glance upon the shrouded figure, you feel instinctive fear and a need to glance away.
Oof. I don't like this at all. Okay.
Okay. So that's what you see. What you hear is the following. The drow, because the drow that was accosting you was speaking vocal in an irate manner to the Rasa group. There is no need for this reporting. Nothing of note is happening since last you were told, fiend. That may be so, but not of you to be determined. You know what the lady expects. I only serve my mistress, whom in turn serves the lady. Now, what is occurring in Mantle Dareth? Only low trades. Not much point in gathering now that the filthy Durgar are ruining trade. Barely worth even being awake for such watching. Only thing is that a group of 3 newcomers managed to enter. Don't know how those slaves managed to acquire the password. And when he says this, the figure in the back takes more of a notice of what is being said and gives a nod. And somehow the Rakshasa, who was not looking at the figure, takes that as a cue. What slaves? The ones that escaped the arena. Somehow they managed to survive all this time and even reach here. And on hearing that, the shrouded figure nudges its creature that is riding on, that seems like a horse, move forward. So you mean the sacrifice? The sacrifices that your mistress misplaced for Our Lady? The drow and those behind him begin to visibly squirm and back away from the approaching figure. They were not misplaced. They will be caught again. Then why did you not take them then, fool drow? You know well that no such action can be taken in Mantle Dareth. Besides, we just need to wait for them to get away from the brigand Darth. The shrouded figure then halts very abruptly, and from its motion, you can tell that there is inherent anger, and the Rakshasa themselves move away left and right from the figure, and even the one at the forefront begins to cringe, whilst the drow themselves become smaller visibly. And then the shrouded figure approaches the drow again. The Rakshasa proceeds to speak again. Speak clearly. What do Banre's lackeys have to do with this? I don't know. The slaves were with them when I confronted them. Maybe they were recruited? It matters not. Once a day in the travels again, they will be easy to. And as he says this, the shrouded figure, whose face you cannot see, as all you can see of the figure is their side profile. This shrouded figure then takes its wrappings about its face and reveals what is hidden towards only the drow. And all of the group of the drow drops everything that is in hands and crumbles to the ground, all in fright and horror. And the Rakshasa behind the shrouded figure also likewise, not in a similar manner, but in equal fear, backs away from the figure. And
Okay.
all of you, unless you want to do some kind of roll, are also in a frightened state, but the effect upon you is not of similar intensity.
Okay.
And as
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
and as the drow are all in a crumbled heap on the floor, the figure lifts up spear that you did not even notice it had and rams it through the neck of the lead drow and gives it a good twist. It then takes the draping that it had as a cover and replaces it back upon its face, withdraws its spear, and marches back up behind the Rakshasa in motions, giving the cue to the lead Rakshasa that he has leave to speak again. Now, before I speak, did you want to say something?
Well, before this figure on the horse speared the nearest drow to death, given that the drow and the Rakshasa responded so fearfully to this figure, Goji was going to elbow Vrisdan and try to get him to crawl closer to see if he could take a look, but then she watched that drow get speared and she instantly curled up into a ball and got afraid.
Okay. Okay. The Rakshasa that has been the spokesperson in some means for this figure who has not spoken at all says, "Speak clearly, you survivor." Oh, I'm sorry. No. I did not scroll down.
That's
sorry.
okay.
I'm
That's all
sorry.
right.
The Rakshasa says, "Consider yourselves with luck, as your mistress needs instruction. Tell Faye Bronk that she had best hope that House Vanre is not aware of what we're about. These sacrifices are the ladies, and now that they are free and in collusion with those that they are not ought to be with, you are to hunt them down and prepare them for offering. The time of night is nigh, and your house has prospered and been useful. But know that the lady is displeased with the lessening of this sacrifice. Your aims are not greater than ours, and you will remember it as such. Or we shall see which you will suffer from. Our lady's wrath, or the house's knowing who you actually worship. Now, leave and ignore the market. find the sacrifice. And as he finishes that, the shrouded figure waves its unburdened hand, and a portal to a fiery scape with a backdrop of bones opens and marches through
God.
this portal, and the Rakshasa turn and follow its master. And once the portal closes, the frightened drow also begin to collect themselves and their gear and marches through the exits that is not occupied by you and leaves the room. And once you all recover from your fear, you find that you are alone.
Okay. Two thoughts. The last person to speak before the portal opened, I missed that part. Was that one of the Rakshasa or was that one of the drow?
That was the Rakshasa.
Okay. All right. And then just for my own mental image, when the shrouded figure revealed its face to the drow and the Rakshasa, how many figures could we perceive were there at the time?
You saw that there were 7 drow before the one was slain.
Okay. And of the Rakshasa, we don't know how many?
There were 4.
4. Okay. So the figure on the horse, the 7 drow minus 1, and the 4 Rakshasa.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. Goji's first thought is, what if we just go live with the Kuatoa for the rest of our lives and become farriers? That sounds fine. No, that's out of character, because she would never say that, because she's determined to be glorious, but that's what Pem's thought is. This sounds awful. So the portal opened, the Rakshasa went through it and disappeared, yes?
Yes.
The drow and the shadowy figure, they also went off somewhere, but did we see where they went?
They went through other
door.
tunnels. 3 went through a northern tunnel, and 3 went through an eastern tunnel. You are currently in a southern tunnel that would enter the cave.
And we are undetected.
You are undetected.
And there's nobody currently within eye line of us, right?
No.
Okay.
And as time progresses, you feel that the fear that you were instinctually feeling lessened.
Ugh. Okay, well, this is awful. I hate it. I mean, the portal has closed, yes? There's no way to follow the Rakshasa.
There is nothing in the cavern other than the dead drow.
All right. Well, Goji's going to creep slowly forward and see if she can get close enough to loot this body without noticing that anybody else is nearby. Just try to see if there's anything on it that might identify the person or who they were speaking to or something like, messages, that kind of thing.
Okay. You see that he is clad of armor that would normally be seen on a scout. Leather drapings of black hue. You see normal weaponry, not those of higher quality of adamantine that is given to higher standing male drow. You see a hand crossbow that they are very fond of using, along with the sleeping poison coated darts that they are like to use with those hand crossbows. As for identification, you do see that they do have an insignia that you did miss when you interacted with them. It is a image of a green tree coated and surrounded by a bluish purple haze.
So we have the spider pimps and the green trees. Those are the 2 insignia we've detected so far, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And just to be
Vrisdan
clear...
looks astonished that Goji got their actual names in perfect undercommon.
These are well-known gangs in the Underdark. The spider pimps and the green trees.
Yeah. All throughout the lands of the Underdark, they
Yeah.
are known as the Spider Pimps and the Green Trees.
The spider pimp initiation ritual is considerably more fun than the green tree initiation ritual. And I'm sorry, you said that they were darts, but they're specifically for the crossbow, right? So they're not the darts that Futon would throw.
No,
Okay.
they are specific for the hands crossbow.
Okay.
They are the same ones that Max has.
Oh, okay. Then Goji's gonna flag Vrisdan down and just point out that these hand crossbow bolts or darts or whatever are
I'll pick up 10 more.
are there.
Yep, go ahead and add them to your inventory. But yeah, that's all you find in this cavern now.
Is there a clear indication of what direction Bram Rule Wrath Hunter might lie? And would that be the same direction as the terrifying Ring Wraith or their drow underlings?
You know, it was not until I was describing your fear that I actually connected that you would see it as a ring wraith. But yes.
The fact that you put them on a horse, I think, is what did it for me.
But no, you cannot tell where the ring wraith went because it went through a portal.
Oh, it went through the portal with the Rakshasa.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't catch that in your description.
As for the drow, they went north and to the east, which is opposite of the direction that you were first following on, as this was a side passage from the main that's going to the west.
I see. Okay. Then Goji's going to look at Vrisdan and Futon and ask them straight up, how much do you want to kill these 6 drow?
Well, it'd be 3 that went east and 3 that went.
Oh, so 3 at a time. Okay, I was thinking we could sneak up on all 6 of them and waste them. But okay.
I would love to murder them while they're split up.
Oh, all right.
But if it's gonna derail us too far, Vrisdan is already thinking once he gets back to the surface, he's gonna plan a little summer vacation trip back down here and right some wrongs. Right, so paint some perhaps too good a context. He's going to exact some very personal vengeance.
I would, if we get a chance to do like a little 1-session epilogue where Vrisdan just like a DLC where Vrisdan just rights all wrongs, that would be a lot of fun. Okay, I'm not saying that Goji is gung ho to track down these drow and kill them. But it's been a while since we've had a fight, and she's already had her dander up once or twice in this session without getting any violence to, bed the appetite. So now that we know that the drow are 3 and 3, she's very tempted to just hunt them down and kill them, because why let them continue to try to hunt for us if we already know where they are and we can take them unawares?
Well, the Underdark is dangerous. Do you know that a message is being taken to the House of Febron? Who's to say which group gets there? Who's to say 06 get there? But I do need a decision made. Do you go north? Do you go east? Or do you go back west where you were intending to go?
I mean, how far, like, maybe 10 minutes they have on us, each one of these parties?
Sure. 10 minutes of them hauling complete ass.
Oh, hauling ass. Oh, okay. Never mind, I'm sorry. I was imagining that they were kind of, creeping along at the same pace that we were.
No. After that intensive fear and the fact that their leader was slain easily, I would say that they were hauling all kinds of speed to deliver the message they were given.
Okay. I guess, just out of character, Goji's thought was, if we can eliminate one or both of these parties of 3, we have less people hunting us. Especially if we can interrupt their message delivery system. But it sounds like it would be a pretty big exertion to try to track them down. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Let him be.
Mm-hmm.
Head west then?
Yeah.
Wrathhammer direction? Wrath Hunter, I'm sorry.
Okay. Sounds like you are back on the main path.
Okay, I'm just
Thank
letting
you
you
for-
know that the longer
Thank-
Goji goes without combat, the more likely she is to just throw down the next time that she gets an opportunity. So,
That sounds amazing.
yes.
You just told Vrisdan that the longer we go without combat, the more he's gonna like Goji.
That sounds exactly what every GM wants.
From now on, we're gonna like take 2 or 3 days break between each fight. Just
So
that
the
we
first time we talk to somebody, she just instantly
Goji
clubs
and
him
Vrisdan
across the
fucking
face.
Jump them. Yes. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, thank you for entertaining this little exposition dump.
That
of
was great.
Story.
loved it.
And
was
we
terrifying.
that was the intended effect.
hmm
As we progress back onto the main path, you proceed in your search for Bramrul Wrath Hunter, and eventually you come upon this new set of caverns. And let me go ahead and pull up
A map.
the map.
Love a good map.
These are very good maps. Okay, now I will go ahead and place you guys. Now I'm just zooming your tokens up so you can find them more easily
hmm
after our discussion. So, because these are all tunnels, I've been trying to make walls so it's not as easily seen all the sections of the map. And okay, so you all enter this cavern and see about you a kind of like altar to smithing, where you see figures around stone figures around this anvil of magic hue, and see that it is a path around this figure, this anvil pedestal, that leads further in, presumably to the blacksmith that you are seeking.
That would be the path that's opposite us from the anvil, the southwest path?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Let me see what it is that you see. Yes, yes.
And are those statues there?
I'm sorry, what do you mean?
Oh, you know what? Cancel that question. Just go ahead with your description. I'm sorry. I jumped the gun.
No, yeah, you have 3 statues that you see around the anvil.
Yep.
You do not determine without any further investigation what their relevance is. It's up to you if you want to investigate or just proceed down the watery path to the other side of the room and proceed.
I mean, Goji's going to check out that moth-looking statue for sure.
Sure. You approach it and you see that there is a what's the word? Candelabrum? No. There is a brazier. There is a brazier
yeah, there you go.
at the bottom of the statue of a light blue fire hue that resembles the anvil that you see in the middle of the pond, lighting up the moth. And can I go ahead and have either an investigation, a perception, or arcana roll, or anything that you seem to determine that would be of a like roll that would be the best for you?
Just of Goji or of the group?
Anybody that wants to do it.
I'm checking out the moth, so I'm doing it.
Okay.
I am perceiving like a motherfucker.
You perceive that the brazier is not so much connected to the statue, but that there are lines that connect it to the anvil. And as
I
you
was
follow the
just
line,
gonna ask that. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
as you follow the line of light blue that connects this brazier that is at the bottom of the statue to the anvil, you see and wander to it, and you see at the bottom of the anvil that further lines of blue go underneath it and past another row. You cannot determine where these lines go.
Hmm. Um,
But at the moth statue itself, you see that it seems to be some kind of like worship. I'm just going with the moth because that's what the map is showing. But
yeah.
it is kind of like a worship in the magic that there is craft in the craft of smithing.
Okay. Does Goji think if she were to extinguish this brazier, would she be able to relight it, or is it a magical thing? Like the lighting of it itself is magical.
With your perception of 19, I would say that you can perceive that this fire does not actually give you any kind of warmth.
Okay. So if I was to put it out, a torch alone would not be enough to reignite it. If I could even put it out, maybe I can't.
You cannot determine whether or not you can put it out.
Okay. Going back to the anvil, that you said there's lines that go from the moth statue to the anvil. Is
And
it
then they
reasonable?
proceed underneath.
Okay, is it reasonable to think that there are also lines from the, I want to say, fox, wolverine, badger thing that Futon's standing nearby, and also the stag, deer statue to the southeast?
Yes, you can see that there are very slim lines that interweave between the paths from those statues to the anvil as well, seemingly siphoning the flame that is held in these braziers to whatever destination is leading from the anvil.
I see. And the anvil currently seems to be in an inactive state, or it's lit up like the statue braziers are.
It is lit as well, but you do not see with your perception any kind of active use of whatever this light is doing to this anvil.
Okay. Goji is going to turn to Vrisdan and Futon and say, there's some crazy shit going on with these statues in this anvil, but I'm betting if we can get in and talk to Bramrul Wrathhunter, damn it, I got it wrong. I'm betting this anvil is where he does his work, and we might deduce the mystery from watching him actually do some crazy shit to my club.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if this dude fucks up my club, we kill him.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
written.
It's written in stone with ink
Yep.
that you do not have. Okay.
Oh, shit.
As you proceed.
Oh, there's a little alcove
Okay.
over here. Okay, I'm just checking it out.
All right.
This
While
line
you're
of sight
checking
thing
it
has
out-
got me so distracted.
I know, but stop right there.
Oh, no.
Stop right
Did I trigger something?
You triggered something.
Oh, no.
As you proceeded, give me another perception roll.
Come on, baby. Don't let me down. Oh, my God.
You look down, and just as you were about to step on it, you see
Goji, what
You
do your
see-
orc eyes see?
Goji's orc eye sees a bear trap, a
Oh,
massive bear
God.
trap.
She
And
coulda
with your
lost her leg.
20 perception roll, you see that its mechanism that would trigger it to close upon whatever steps on it is unfunctioning.
Oh, well, that worked out okay. I perceived a broken trap.
And while you're glancing at it, you see that there is also something on the area to the left and right of it.
Oh, what is that? What can I?
You see that the ground is disturbed and possibly hiding something.
Ooh. If I think that it's reasonable, I could, dig it up with my hands without setting off the trap that's already there, which I don't think I can, because you said the mechanism is already broken or something, right?
Sure, with the nat 20, you can sit there and dig away, and you uncover that there actually is a wire trap connecting to underneath the bear trap.
Oh shit.
And you follow the wire trap, and they both ways around from the bear trap. You see that it connects to the wall on either side, and you can presume that it goes into the wall and connects to some trap that's not connected specifically with a bear.
Okay. Does it seem like if I trip it here, are we at any immediate risk? Do I see an apparatus that's going to fall on us or set us on fire or something like that?
Okay. Yeah, you look around and investigate, and you, with your cunning orc eye, you see at the top that there seems to be some kind of door trap at the ceiling.
Ah, I see.
A very big door trap.
Okay. Does this, and I'll roll again if I have to, does this seem like the kind of trap that I will need to either trigger or defuse to get past, or can I alert Futon and Vrisdan of its presence and they'll be able to avoid it?
So you're asking me if this is a Baldur's Gate 3 situation?
Yes, exactly.
You
Like,
identify it, but
is
they will
my
still
party
trigger.
good or what?
If you make them aware of the wires that you found and very carefully step around it, you could get by without triggering.
Okay, so Goji's gonna take a moment, and she's gonna, what's the motion you make where you're like, hey, come here a second? It's like a beckoning. She's beckoning to Futon and Vrisdan. Be like, okay, come here, motherfuckers, check this out. And she points out the bear trap, which is corroded and broken, but then she points out the wire trap underneath that's still functioning. And she makes a very quiet, very delicate motion to step over the wire trap and encourages them to do the same.
Okay. And you all get past it just fine.
Phew.
Now, please go a little slowly.
Yep. I'm just thinking...
all three of you progress to where Goji is now.
I'm feeling like a perception god, and the next time I don't perceive something and we all die from it, I'm going to feel terrible.
Okay. All right. As you progress, give me another perception roll.
Goji, because she's in front, or just anybody?
Anybody.
If nobody does it, I'm going to do it. 3,
Do it.
2,
Do it.
1.
Wait, let me cast that stupid spell on you.
Oh no! It's too late!
It don't matter.
It's too late!
So
I gave you a countdown. God damn it.
I told you to stop the countdown. I had to pull the thing up.
It don't matter. It was a critical fail anyway.
We're all gonna get blown up.
So as you take the more eastern tunnel around this pillar of stone.
There, I hotkeyed it for you.
You go around this pillar towards the eastern side, and feeling so pleased at your clever evasion of whatever trap that was behind you, you take no notice of where you're treading, and suddenly you hear this twining of a wire under your boot. And as you look down, all three of you notice peripherally above you something coming down from the ceiling. And as you look up, you see that there is this massive log on ropes swinging in your direction.
Ugh.
And I think that's a great
Fucking
Stop.
Indiana Jones bullshit. Okay.